Hey guys, good morning. Good morning. So, I did some research and turns out the white coffee actually whitens your skin. That's right, actually whitens your skin. Today I only have dark Hawaiian and pea berry. I don't barely have any coffee left, guys. So, not too much to buy today, and some nibs. It's gonna be a short show. I don't have that much to sell. Let's see here. Give me a sec. Just loading things up. But yeah, I'm running out of coffee, guys. Running out of coffee. It was fun while it lasted. So we got some cacao tea and some turmeric. I got turmeric if you guys want it, but who wants turmeric? We got the flower stalks. I got the cacao tea. All right. Uh, More logistical shortage. I don't have pods. You're already too pasty. It also blocks. It blocks UV rays. Yep, it blocks UV rays. So the white coffee isn't just called white coffee because the coffee is white. It arrived. All right, Mike. Awesome. We only have whole bean coffee here. It blocks melanin. Yeah, it blocks the production of melanin. It's better than kojic acid, kojic acid. Apparently, it blocks melanin better than kojic acid. I was just reading more about white coffee, just doing my research. It makes your skin tone better, makes your kojic acid. That's right. It's better at blocking melanin production than kojic acid. It literally makes you white. Yep. So, thought I'd just tell you guys that. I thought that was kind of funny. Literally makes you white. What else was I going to tell you guys? So, all I really have, we only have white Hawaiian today. I know. Yeah. You guys are already too white. I wish I could put everything on my website, but my wife handles the website, and so she's like the government. Like if you want even the smallest change, it takes like a year for it to go through. So I just quit asking her to do anything. I don't know if it'll make you that white, but it lightens your tone. Was she flying? It's funny. I do have some more white Hawaiian, but I'm out. That's what my mom used to say. It's like, "You're like a ghost, Ed. Why can't you just be a real person?" I don't know if Ominous, exactly. All right. So yeah, so we only have. I don't know if I am plant lover. This is a peaceful feed here. We're coming to you live from Hawaii, where we have an active volcano. We're selling Hawaiian coffee. That's all we got. We only got Hawaiian dark today. We got a Hawaiian white. We got a, and then we have a medium pea berry and a dark pea berry. What was scary, Cindy? Did I scare you? The active volcano. Yeah, it's really far away though. Yeah, it's unlikely to do anything to us. Very unlikely. Big Island's really big. It's not like the kind of volcano that they have in other regions of the world where you get these explosive eruptions. You only get these light, kind of constant eruptions that are very, very limited. So it does put off ash into the air, and that air gets soaked up with ashes. That rains down micronutrients into the soil. So everything here grows brighter and bigger and closer to its full genetic potential. It's like this daily seething eruption rather than one giant explosive eruption. So our volcanoes are, it's unique. It's called a Hawaiian eruption. It's just like this very constant low level eruption. There isn't any other volcano like it in the world. And so what ends up happening is, we have this consistent replenishment of the soil rather than these large explosions that mess up that overdose the crop on micronutrients, and then it slowly gets better and then it gets worse again. It's this constant slow eruption. So it's actually, that's one of the reasons why everything in Hawaii grows so well, is that um, it's just constantly being fed. And so if you've never tried Hawaiian coffee before, it's completely different than what you guys are used to. It's sweeter, very, very sweet, almost like a maple syrup water. It's very sweet. Brown sugar, cane sugar. Because it's roasted, it caramelizes, so you get this caramel flavor to it. The dark roast is just sweet. It's like a dark chocolate caramel. It's sweeter than cacao powder. And um, so it is really on another level in terms of how it tastes. And all I have today is dark. I should have some more coffee later this week, but right now I don't like, and I got to still fill some of your orders. But everything up to yesterday, except unless you got the off grade. If you guys got off grade, I can either cancel those orders or you got to wait until Thursday. But everything else is going out. Maybe 20 people aren't going to get their coffee, so everything else is going out. Triple digits. Well, I'm in the mountains, so it's maybe 40 degrees. No, I'm sorry, not 40, 70, 75 right now. It's going to get to 85 degrees or so. And then, yeah, so it's actually pretty cool in the mountains. Down by the shore, it's 90, 95, sometimes 100. So I really hate going down there, but that's my wife is insisting that we have it, that she stays there. She can't handle the noise of the mountains. You guys hear that? "Choo." No, this coffee is whole bean coffee. We don't have any instant coffee, and it's not ground either. So it's just whole bean coffee. Yeah, she can't handle it. So she wasn't cut out for this. She was both, she wasn't cut out for this kind of living. It's pure coffee. We don't spray this coffee with any chemical pesticides. We're only using naturally occurring soil funguses and soil bacteria. So the beans here not going to give you the jitters. Going to feel very clean. Taste sweet and smooth. No bitterness, no sourness there. Just a really nice flavor. And I will do some giveaways today. Mm. So all we really have is our Hawaiian coffee, which is the less dense beans, but still very nice beans. And then we have the pea berry coffee, which is our densest bean. So we have like two grades of coffee today. Exotic, thanks. It is a really good coffee. Yeah, I drink this coffee every day now. I actually never drank coffee until recently. This is our Hawaiian coffee, and some of these beans are massive. Like if you look at this bean here, I wish I had coffee that I bought from the store. I need to go buy a bag so I can show you the difference. Ridiculously big compared to other coffees. Like one of you guys sent me a bag of coffee, and the beans were like a quarter of this size. So our beans just grow ridiculously large. Like, so take a look at this. Yeah, looking at it, it looks like a coffee bean. You can't really tell the difference. 600 bucks. It, if you're not in Kona, like even in Kona, people are selling it for $110 a pound. If you're buying it from a dealer and then you're roasting it, or you're buying it from a roaster who bought it from a dealer, every time coffee changes hands, you got to double the price. I just been here long enough that I'm in direct with the mills and the farmers and stuff, so I can get coffee. You're getting it direct, either getting it direct from my farm or you're getting it from the surrounding farms. So it's not changing hands that many times. But look, this is a standard, a typical bean. I got everything up to 2 days ago should be going out. Kitty, I'll double check on yours again. Can you just send me a direct message, Kitty, and just remind me? But everything that you guys ordered up to Saturday is gonna all go out today. But okay, I'll double check my orders again. Yeah, so this is what did you order, Kitty? Just reminding me so I could also have another reminder here. Just let me know. This is one of their biggest Hawaiian beans, and this is kind of like a standard bean that you buy in the store. So they're just ridiculously large, like 10 times larger than coffee from other regions of the world. If you guys want to order, you can get a sampler here. I also have them in 12 ounces. The dark roast was just roasted on Saturday. It tastes like a toasted caramel or brown sugar. Toasted caramel, brown sugar, and chocolate. Very simple dessert coffee. Nothing complex about it, just an extremely sweet coffee. If you guys want a 12-ounce bag, we have these here. And you'll see this last batch had really big beans in it. You know what, Kitty? I'm just gonna pull up. Ow. Yeah, we packed everything. I don't know if there's like a makeup order that we missed or something like that. So if you guys want, oh, it's from the 8th. I definitely noticed some of those were still missing. I'll check that right now for you. I actually have my computer here. All right. I'll print out the label right now. I'll get it on my computer so that we make sure to get it. Unless it was like an off grade. I make my coffee. Lately, I've been making a drip. Yeah, I used to do only pour overs, but lately I've been making a drip because I don't know. Drip coffee comes out a little bit sweeter for me. I think maybe the water stays on the drip a little bit longer. So I've been making a drip and it's been coming out really good. So I like drip coffee. Pour over is also really good. Both of those are really good coffees. So all I got today is dark roast, dark Hawaiian, and I got some medium and light pea berry, and I also have the white Hawaiian. All right, look up Kitty's Death Doors. How you doing? So no matter how you make this coffee, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be way better than anything that you guys are currently drinking. All right, so I am just gonna print out this label again for you, Kitty. I'm sorry for that delay. So 3 pounds light medium. Okay. All right. I will double check on this. All right. So I got it up. Sorry about that. Hey, Iron Sword, how you doing? Whew. All right. So we got this dark roasted Hawaiian coffee. What is different about Hawaiian coffee? Mainly the climate. The beans get bigger. I just showed you those two massive beans. I don't know where those beans went. Man, my brain. Here they are. YB Fly, haven't seen you in a while. So we got this dark Hawaiian today. Look at this. This is the Hawaiian bean. This is a bigger one of the Hawaiian beans, but look at this. This is the size. This is kind of the size of a lot of the beans you guys are buying in the stores. Just ridiculously small compared to our Hawaiian bean. You couldn't tell the difference. You kind of look at this like, oh, what's the big deal? It's a coffee bean. But then you put them side by side, and you're like, oh, okay, I get it now. So the beans here grow larger because of our rich soil, our active volcano. That volcano constantly replenishing the soil with micronutrients, and so the beans get quite a bit larger. The difference between Kona and Hawaiian, they're all coming off the same trees. So this is the parchment. I'm good, Vibey. Thanks. How about yourself? So they're all in this bag before we roast it. This is called parchment, and this is coffee with a shell on it. After we shell the coffee, we sort the coffee by density and by bean size. So, you might have the Kona coffee is like the perfect beans. So this one is a Hawaiian, even though it's so huge, because it's not a the right oval size. It's going to be a little bit less dense than an equivalent Kona bean. It's not the perfect oval, so this is considered a defect. This is just too big. This bean's too big, and so this would go in the Hawaiian. It's not a perfect oval, so that's one difference. It's not like perfectly flat. So it's just there's a little bit something wrong with this. Kona is denser. Yeah, it's gonna roast better. Better is also subjective. So Kona is more complex in its flavor. Um it'll have kind of more of a nuttiness. It'll be maybe really it comes to the taste is just more of a nuttiness to it. A little bit more complex. Retains the fruitiness a little bit better. Whereas the Hawaiian coffee is just sweeter because the whole thing roasts. And when you roast coffee, it's like caramelizing an onion. As you roast the coffee darker, it becomes sweeter. And, that's really what it comes down to. Sweeter coffee is going to be, yeah, both of them, but they're all coming off the same tree. So they're almost the same. Yeah. And the Hawaiian coffee is actually our best seller because it's a little bit more expensive than your Pete's, but and Nuptials already gotten, thanks, Nuptials already has gotten like 8 pounds. So I think, probably just curious. So she's already loaded up on coffee. Mm. So yeah, so the Kona coffee, the Hawaiian coffee, they're all coming off the same trees. They're just different grades of the coffee. And a pound of our coffee, but it really comes down to the picking. So most of the world's coffee is either picked with a machine, or it's picked with people who are getting paid $1 per 100 pounds of raw coffee picked. Takes 10 pounds of raw coffee to make 1 pound of finished coffee. So you're talking about $1 per 10 cents in a pound of coffee goes to the pickers in other countries. We're paying them $10 to $15 here. And that's why our coffee is going to be sweeter because we can take our time to pick the coffee. People aren't rushing, grabbing as much coffee off the trees. If we do get a picker like that, we can fire them. So we only want the perfectly red beans, the deep reds, the purples, the browns, the coffee that's soft and ready to fall off the trees to the touch. And because we're only picking the best beans like that, the coffee is way sweeter. and way smoother. Just like if you let a banana turn brown or an apple turn brown, that extra time on the tree ripening in the sun increases the sugar content of the coffee, gets rid of the tannins, uh, gets rid of all the acidity. And so that's what it really comes down to is how sweet the coffee is, how ripe the coffee is, how much longer we let the coffee sit on the tree. Probably only harvesting 25% of the yield per acre. So we're paying more, we're picking less, but the coffee we get is it's like an ice wine. You guys ever have an ice wine or a Moscato where the sugar content of the wine is just off the charts, and that's the case with our coffee as well. We let the coffee sit on the tree for almost a month longer, and we're only taking the coffee that falls off to the touch. We pay people a lot more. People take their time picking this coffee, and as a result of that, it's a big difference. It's like if you had your own orange tree in your own backyard. You guys are pretty much used to drinking coffee that was picked unripe. You guys are used to drinking green coffee, sour coffee, bitter coffee. And that's part of the reason why coffee has to be roasted so dark. It's because it was picked too early. And because you pick your coffee too early, it becomes, it's as if you've been eating orange juice, drinking orange juice from green oranges, or drinking, eating green tomatoes, just, on and on and on. You guys have been just drinking unripe coffee. Bottom line, unripe coffee. Even when coffee turns pink, red, orange, it's still not ready. Even at red, it could be sitting on the tree for another 3 4 weeks. So that's why your coffee tends to be so sour and bitter. It's because of how it's picked. The dark roast we have here tastes like a dark chocolate caramel. It's extremely sweet, a lot smoother than coffee from anywhere else in the world. Literally just tastes like a pastry or candy. It's There's nothing compares with this coffee. It's just loaded with sugars. It's like a freshly baked chocolate pastry. And if you've never had coffee like this, probably most of you have never had coffee like this. You can't even imagine coffee um coffee tastes like this. So once you try this coffee, there's no going back to other coffees. You guys are done. You guys will be done with your supermarket coffee. It is more expensive, but we actually have an off grid, which is going to be almost the same price as your other coffee. So there's almost no reason to be drinking imported coffees. Don't need to use creamer. This coffee won't give you the shits. It won't give you indigestion. It won't even give you acid reflux. It's just amazing. You're gonna feel better when you drink coffee. You'll still get the buzz, but you won't get the jitters because we don't spray this coffee with any chemical pesticides. We're only using naturally occurring soil funguses and soil bacterias in this coffee. So, coffee is one of the most sprayed um, crops in the world, but we don't. We're only using soil funguses and soil bacteria to kill our pests. Very natural in the way that we grow it, and that makes it so this coffee won't give you the jitters. Right? A lot of coffee will give you the jitters. You get anxiety. You do have to grind it. We only have whole bean coffee available, and the dark roast isn't that dark, right? Most of you guys are used to a dark roast that looks like this, like oily. So if you're used to drinking Starbucks coffee or whatever, this is more like a medium. It's actually way, way lighter than what you guys are used to. So I would suggest you start with our dark roast. Our dark roast is probably lighter than what you guys are used to, but we don't need to roast our coffee that dark because our coffee doesn't get bitter. Our coffee doesn't start out with any sourness. Thanks, Neptunes. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you guys coming on here and sharing your experience with this coffee because it does help other people understand that. Because I can just be talking, I could just be talking about the coffee, and in fact, I've noticed some other sellers on other platforms are copying me, copying what I'm saying. So you can't tell the difference until you try it. Everyone's saying, "Oh, it's picked at the peak of ripeness. It doesn't give you stomach aches," but then when you drink it, it probably gives you stomach aches, or maybe not. But ours really doesn't. You can drink 4 or 5 cups of this, and I would give you a money back guarantee. So if you do get stomach aches from this, I'll give you 100% of your money back. This 2 ounce sampler here is individually sealed in one of these brown bags or white bags, depending on the roast you get. And so you can make 4 8-ounce cups with it. This is it right here. There we go. Give you it for $4 is the best I can do on these. And individually sealed. You can make 4 8-ounce cups, roughly a pot of coffee. And you're just gonna notice it's sweet. It's just like sweet water. I Thanks, Neptunes. Yeah, even for Kona coffee, our coffee tends to be sweeter. There are some farms out, or there's 650 Kona coffee farms. We're getting it from about 25 of them. We're just in this small little region here in Hawaii. It's called Kona now. And so roughly from that crest there around, that's where we're getting our coffee from. So it's South Kona coffee. And yeah, I saw you ordered wine, and we should be getting everything out up to, unless you ordered off grade. If you ordered off grade, we're not going to have that till Thursday. If you want me to cancel the off grade, I could send you everything else. But unfortunately, we're not going to have the off grade until Thursday. On Aaron, I still owe you. I got to cancel I cancel some of your stuff. Let me do that right now. You mean the chocolate tea? Yeah, the cacao tea is also really good. Did you feel it calm you down too? It's actually really interesting. Yeah, you can actually feel the chocolate, right? Most of the time you eat chocolate and you notice it almost doesn't do anything, right? It just tastes good, but it doesn't really do anything. Whereas our chocolate, you can actually taste it. I mean, you can actually feel it. It actually calms you down. It There's another compound in chocolate called theobromine, and that's the mirror image of caffeine. So it almost affects you like in an opposite way. It's kind of weird. Ugh. I hate this freaking platform. You know, it's like you can't even cancel an order. It's like, come on, guys. I don't know. Some things are just dumb. Sometimes, anyway. All right, Aaron. I tried to Candy, thank you for I tried to cancel the chocolate covered Macnuts, but they're not even letting me cancel it. I don't understand this. Oh, now my computer died. Jesus. I'm so frustrated with technology. It's just like this stuff's a waste of my time. All this technology is a waste of our time. All it does is get slower, and then you gotta pay more to get faster internet, and then everything gets even slower. Because then every time you get faster internet, they up the game. Just retarded. All right, so that's our dark coffee, guys. Looks like no one really wants any dark coffee. The other item we have is a white coffee. This white coffee gives you, it's almost like drinking 10 cups of dark coffee. It's more of an energy drink. You already got it sent. Yeah, I sent yours out right away because it was easy to pack. So I almost never cancel orders. I maybe have canceled 3 orders out of 10,000. So I don't think that's the issue. 12-hour day, got 9, no lag, no crash. Yep. The white coffee gets you really going. It's good stuff. I drink it every day. It's good for your skin. Coffee has this other compound in it called trigonylene. And when you roast trigonylene to 250 degrees, it becomes something called methylamine, which is the meth part of methamphetamine. It's called white coffee because its roast is so light that it's this color, right? It's still, it's practically white. And and so it's still raw. It's before first crack. It just smells like candy. It smells like this sweet brown sugar, lightly fruity, almost like a freshly baked pastry. This coffee is just, all of this coffee is so sweet. You don't have to add any cream or sugar to it. It makes you feel really good. But death doors, if you drink too much of it like I have, you definitely get a hangover. Hey Caitlin, how you doing? I thought I offended you and you would never come back. But it's actually good for your skin. There's been research that shows it um, blocks ultraviolet radiation, blocks and also improves your. It's better than kojic acid for your skin tone. So it actually blocks melanin production. So that's trigonylene, and trigonylene is like 1 to 3% of the white coffee. So white coffee is extremely strong. It it's raw, so it has all the polyphenols and antioxidants in coffee. It doesn't really taste like coffee. Apparently, it'll make you whiter. Yeah, apparently, or make you not. It won't make you won't tan as badly, and it improves the skin. Um, so that's sort of the angle I've been taking. Ready to sell some knives. Nice, Mac. That's the new angle I've been taking about the white coffee. I don't really think there's that many people interested in making their skin lighter, unless you're in China or something. I'm not sure, but so I gotta take that angle with the Chinese people because they love making their skin white. It's like just the whole thing. It's like, how white can you make your skin? It's a whole thing in China. But this coffee is also extremely healthy. In rat studies, it it uh it lowers their pain, it modulates their pain, it lowers their inflammation, it improves their glucose response, lowers the levels of glucose in their blood. No, this is the extra fancy white. Um, Improves insulin response. So for all sorts of things, in rats, it lowers neuropathic pain. It boosts NAD levels in their muscles, increases their strength, reduces what's called sarcopenia, which is, I think that's the name of it, which is muscle wasting. So as you get older, your muscles start to kind of get weaker, and this apparently slows that down. So a lot of good benefits, potentially good benefits of the white coffee, drinking it this light. I even think, this is the way maybe coffee was meant to be drunk, and maybe because the coffee also gives you such a buzz back when people were creating things like 200 years ago, they just roasted it very dark because when you roast it too light, you'd get crazy, right? It also makes you kind of crazy, right? Ooh, I could really use a chicken parmesan right now. I'm in this mode right now where I'm really hungry. Does that ever happen to you guys? Looks like peanut butter chips. Even tastes A little bit like peanut butter, where it tastes like a sweet corn. Marijuana poisoning. I haven't done marijuana for, I mean, I had this 2 week relapse in May, and then I quit again. But before that, I hadn't done it for like a year and a half. So I've been off weed for a while. I just can't concentrate. I made you hungry. Is there tapeworm in McDonald's? Why'd you have to tell me that, Iron Sword? Mmm. Is it really 8% human DNA? Why is it 8% human DNA? Cajun, I want to know more. I want to know more. Interesting. I don't eat that much. I'm The white coffee also makes you, oh, interesting. I'd assume those butchers use fully it's fully automated now. Anyway, I had McDonald's twice last week and I regretted it both times. It's just too salty for me. Now my body's used to eating beans all the time. Let's do a $1 start on this 2 ounce sample of white coffee. Really worth trying. This coffee, 1 cup of this coffee is like drinking 10 cups of regular dark roast. But the coffee tastes like a tea. It's roasted extremely light, and you went to Cozumel? I went to Cozumel. Oh no, Cozumel. Uh, Yeah, the Mexican McDonald's is so good. 10% DNA. So this is $1. No one's buying anything today. What's going on? Monday morning. So this coffee, the white coffee is just the best thing you could do for your health. Coffee and beans are actually the best thing you could possibly do for your health. And they both feed a particular bacteria in your stomach, which is called the butyric acid fermenting bacteria. As you get older, that bacteria goes away, and you actually, once that bacteria is gone, you actually start to die. So people who live longer, mm-hmm, yeah, people who live longer either eat beans or they drink coffee. One thing, I don't know if you guys are noticing this, but since I've been drinking the white coffee, I want to eat healthier. I want to eat beans all the time. So it's almost like it makes your body crave beans. So all I've been doing is eating beans, black beans and red beans, and so this is a 2 ounce sample of our white coffee. This is the healthiest one. It's still raw. It's roasted before first crack. Coffee actually pops like popcorn twice. At about 400 degrees, it pops and expands. That's called first crack, and that's where the light roast happens. Then between light and dark is your medium roast. That's about 425. That's your second crack. And then at dark roast, it becomes third crack, which is when it really expands. So you can't compare the bean size unless you're comparing the same roasts. Our dark roast, about 450, second crack, so the bean has popped twice. Medium roast is 425, light roast 400, and white coffee is 350. So it's almost 100 degrees lighter than your dark roast, which is why all the antioxidants, all the polyphenols are still intact. Doesn't taste like coffee yet, so it is a very different flavor. So I'll run this one more time as a sample. The white coffee is the one that just has all these physiological effects. Almost gets you a little bit high. Someone mentioned I also have larger bags of those. So this is our larger bag of the white coffee here. There's a 12-ounce bag of the white coffee, and 1 cup of this is like 10 cups of dark roast. Almost feels like an energy. It feels better than an energy drink. You could probably. Some people are telling me they're replacing their energy drinks with this coffee, but unlike an energy drink, it doesn't deplete you. You know, most energy drinks actually deplete your body. They cause your cells. It just means it's a little bit lighter than maybe 10 degrees lighter. It just came out that way because we pulled it a little bit earlier. It's a little bit stronger. It's just 10 degrees lighter. Um, yeah, so most energy drinks actually deplete your body, right? It actually causes your body to go into overdrive, but when you go into overdrive, you produce all these toxins. Your body basically is burning fuel, and it releases all these oxidative, like, byproducts of burning fuel. But most energy drinks, they don't provide antioxidants, they don't provide anything to support, no vitamins to support that overdrive. So over time, your cells just wear out. Whereas this coffee, when it gives you that energy, it has methylated vitamin B3, which is methylated niacin, which is NAD booster, an anti-aging compound. So it actually causes your cells to not age. It's also got polyphenols in it, antioxidants, which soak up the byproducts and help your body eliminate them. So as some people were saying, as you heard some other people in the chat saying, white coffee doesn't make you crash, doesn't give you, you do get a little bit tired afterwards, but you're not. It actually makes you feel good. So the white coffee is something really good for people who are hooked on energy drinks. This is like an alternative to an energy drink. I'm munching on Macnuts right now. So we also have these macadamia nuts. These Macnuts are super tasty. They're the easiest nuts to digest. Mm-mm. Macnuts remind me of a pine nut. They're very buttery. These are still raw, so they're unroasted. You can eat them raw. There is absolutely no tannins in there, so your gut can digest it easily. There's none of that bitterness that you get in the walnuts. There's also no oxalates, so if you guys have any kidney issues, kidney stones, these are actually the only nuts people with kidney stones can eat. So mac nuts are the healthiest nuts you can eat. Easiest to digest. It actually has omega 3s in them. It's got um, omega 3s. It's got this compound omega 7, which is really good for your skin. But even more than that, it's far easier to digest. I would say my favorite coffee would be the medium peaberry in terms of the flavor. It's the most expensive one. It's the smoothest. It's buttery. It takes 100 pounds of our Kona coffee to produce 1 pound of pea berries. So it is the most expensive coffee. It's the rarest. The pea berry is a different shape. It's denser. It looks like this. So it's shaped like a pea. And because of the density of those beans, I think I do have a sample of it. Let me just find it. Because of the density of those beans, it roasts differently. You get this kind of honey flavor to it. All right, here we go. Here's our pea berry. Mm, what the pea berries look like. Now, every region of the world produces a pea berry. So some people only like drinking pea berry, right? It roasts differently because instead of having a flat half, it like rolls up on itself and forms this kind of pebble. When you go to roast that pebble, it just it's a lot smoother, quite a bit sweeter, or more oily. It tastes like it's got coats your mouth with a layer of butter. The range of flavors in the pea berry compared to your Hawaiian is broader. So the pea berry medium, you get a lot of the notes of the light and the notes of the dark because the outside kind of roasts a little bit more because it's a smaller bean, so it it hits the flame a little bit more. Whereas the inside retains the flavors, doesn't get roasted as much, so you kind of get this broader range. You get taste, you get a touch of the light, a touch of the dark in the medium pea berry. Whereas with the Hawaiian coffee, it just kind of roasts very evenly, and instead of having this broad range of flavors, just very sweet. It like dials in on a single point. So this pea berry is the medium. I would say is it's also the most expensive coffee. On other platforms, people are selling it for $110 a pound. I've seen it for $150 a pound. I've seen it for as little as $80 a pound. We sell it for $90 a pound on our website. And coffee is so expensive because of how we pick it. We pick all the coffee by hand. We only pick the deep reds, the purples, and the browns. So we're waiting for the coffee to be soft and ready to fall off the trees before picking it. It's sitting on the trees for 4 weeks longer than most other coffees. And that's very much like, you know, if you let a banana turn brown or an apple turn brown, the amount of sugar in the fruit just goes up exponentially. And that's the case with our coffee as well. Any fruit, we don't think of coffee as a fruit, and we think of it as sort of a think of it like a tea, where it's just a leaf or a stick. Doesn't matter how ripe it is, but coffee is actually a fruit that grows on trees, and like any fruit, if you pick it too early, it's going to come out sour and bitter, no matter how large you got that fruit to grow. Larger fruit doesn't necessarily mean a better cup of coffee. So a lot of times you can't just look at how nice a bean looks and tell if it's good. You can have a really nice looking bean, but it's going to be sour and bitter. You can also have a really ugly bean and it can be very, very sweet. It depends on the ripeness. So the look of the bean can be deceptive. It really does depend on the ripeness of the bean. But if your bean is ripe, then a larger bean is going to be better. The larger bean has more oils, it's denser, it's going to be more complex because the center of the bean doesn't get exposed to the heat as much as the outside. The bean kind of it's like an oven. It retains the oils and the flavors of the coffee better. A larger bean or a denser bean. So in the case of pea berry, it's a denser bean. Let's see, what else do we have here? We also have that pea berry in the dark. So if you guys want a dark sample, the dark pea berry, this will be the richest, smoothest dark coffee you guys have ever tried. It's, it's twice as dense as our other coffees. About 25 degrees darker than the medium roast. And the pea berries look like this, a little different. All this coffee is grown in Hawaii. It's all picked by hand. And overall, the flavor profile is just like a dessert. It's sweet. It comes out of the roaster smelling like a freshly baked chocolate pastry. Coffee is actually was originally used as a flour, as a baking flour before we were drinking it. They actually ground it down to a powder, and people would bake with it. And then people started making a beverage out of it. I can't imagine how strong uh, coffee that you bake with is. So this is the pea berry here. Lucky Luciano, I thought about I thought about that deal you said, where instead of paying me, NASA just buys my coffee, and that's not going to work because they're still getting my coffee. What am I getting out of it? Nothing. I'm not going to work. So no deal. All right. So that's our dark pea berry. That's the most premium one we have. Let's see what else we got going on here. Soulfly, how you doing? But if you want the sweetest of all our coffees, I would say the dark Hawaiian. This was just roasted. Came out of the roaster smelling like chocolate. You wanted the pea berry? I have an 8-ounce pea berry for you. If you want, that's $32. I'll run that next. This is 3 pounds of the Hawaiian, so you're getting 3 pounds of this grade coffee. This is the sweetest one. Tastes like a chocolate, dark chocolate, caramel. Extremely sweet, extremely smooth. No bitterness in this whatsoever. Amazing coffee there. And for the price, it is extremely just. You're not going to find a specialty single origin coffee like this for a price like this. It's sort of ridiculous how expensive coffee can get. But Kona coffee is considered the best coffee in the world. It's the highest grade of coffee, biggest beans. Beans actually don't grow this big anywhere else in the world, and it's because we have this active volcano. This coffee is also guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux or indigestion. So if you guys typically drink a cup of coffee and you almost look at it like smoking a cigarette, where it's something that you need. And Chanel, this is the dark pea berry in the larger bag, the 8-ounce bag. And 8-ounce bag will make you 16 to 24 cups of coffee. Pea berry, if you go to the store to buy it, it's going to be retail $56 for 7 ounces. It's really expensive. It's hard to find. This may be the end of my pea bear. I'm not sure. I'll probably get more in September. I might be able to get another bag here in a few weeks, but I'm not sure. So once this pea bear runs out, I'm probably not going to have any more. And that was the pea bear in the dark. This is the pea bear in the medium. All of our coffee tastes like candy. The amount of sugar in our coffee is ridiculous. You don't have to add cream or sugar to it, and it's guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux or indigestion. So if you've been thinking about giving coffee up because every time you drink coffee your stomach hurts, you get indigestion, you get the shits, our coffee actually won't make that happen for you. Some people like that. I don't know. Some people are like, I need that to take a shit in the morning. So our coffee won't do that to you. That's actually because of the mold in the coffee. It might also be because it's unripe coffee. You know, if you eat a handful of unripe strawberries, you're gonna run to the bathroom. If you eat anything moldy, your body immediately wants to use the bathroom, and that's actually what's going on with a lot of coffee. It's not the caffeine. To some point, it's the caffeine, but not really. Caffeine makes you pee, and this coffee will still make you pee, but it won't make you poop. And oops, there's my pile of stuff. Now you know this isn't AI, because what kind of AI would put a pile of stuff up there? So if you want our kind of base grade, still specialty coffee scores above an 80. But if you want our kind of daily drinking coffee, this is the Hawaiian grade, and this just I'm gonna do $1 star on this. This tastes like chocolate. It's just some of the sweetest coffee you guys ever have tried. Smooth, won't give you any acid reflux, no indigestion, no stomach issues, and I can guarantee that. I've sampled this out to thousands of people, and they all say the same thing. You know, they drink this coffee when they come to the farm. They'll have a cup of this. They go out for a walk, and they come back. They're like, "Wow, you know, normally after a cup of coffee, my stomach starts to hurt, but this doesn't do that." So this is the coffee you want to try if you need coffee every morning. This retails for 35. So I don't know if we can't get this above 20. This will have to be the only bag. But it is, if you come to Hawaii to buy it, people are charging you $35 for 8 ounces of this coffee. This isn't like Hawaii coffee or Kawu coffee. It's actually still grown in Kona. And the reason why it's more expensive is because it comes down to how we pick the coffee. In a pound of this coffee, all the coffee is hand picked, and we're paying people up to $30 an hour. They get paid per pound. All right, so in a bag of this coffee, about $10 to $15 goes to the picker alone. Well, that makes the coffee hard to produce. It's more a labor deficiency that we don't produce more coffee rather than anything else. Just the people don't move to Hawaii to work, and and people here can get jobs as tour guides and things like that. It's just very hard to find people to do physical labor like this. So that kind of limits our production. You end up having to use a lot of your friends and family. Air roasted. So we have a drum roaster and an air roaster. The air roaster kind of passes hot air through this chamber. It's almost like a popcorn popper, and so it blows off all the smoke, and so the coffee doesn't absorb the smoky flavor. It's a little bit. It tastes a little bit cleaner, a little bit fruitier. The beans expand a little bit more. The drum roaster, it's sitting in the drum. It's sitting in a chamber, kind of like an oven, and the beans are turning, but it's the smoke kind of infuses the beans. So the previous roast, all the resin in the coffee goes into the coffee, so it's a little bit more flavorful. Um, but some people find it to be a little bit smokier. So very subtle difference, not too much of a difference. The flavor profile is just a little bit different. We like to roast our light coffees in a roaster, and the white coffees when you roast it in the drum roaster, it still has a nice coffee flavor to it. Whereas the white coffees that are not roasted in the drum roaster will taste almost like a bean, almost like a raw peanut. So that makes a bigger difference in the lighter roast than it does in the darker roast. Just a subtle difference, not too much difference. I might go check him out on Wednesday. He gives tours at Mauna Kea, so he's not around today and tomorrow, so he's gonna roast again on Wednesday, I think. I might go out there and hang out with him a little bit more. Our kids are around the same age too, so we'll try to hang out. He's a really good guy. He really you know. So if you guys are in Hawaii and you want a tour, you should check out Kona Lisa. He gives that tour. He's one of those guys that he's very extremely honest and ethical to the point where I had to force him to allow me to pay him more money. JD, how you doing for the roasts? He was like undercharging me, and I was like, you have to charge me a little bit more, otherwise, because he always complaining. He's getting old. He's getting into his starting almost 50, and doesn't have retirement. I'm like, just charge me a little bit more, man. But then we had to argue about it. So he's like, one of those guys. So definitely check him out, Kona Lisa, if you guys are in Hawaii. He'll give you a full roasting tour. You get a 4-ounce bag to take home. It's an hour and a half tour. And he really shows you everything. I'm not allowed to give tours. You need a license to give tours in Hawaii. So if they catch me giving a tour, I get fined $500 a day. Kind of ridiculous. A lot of local government here. Even though everyone gives tours, I get flagged because I'm just too public. Everyone else, that's how Hawaii is. It's like there's permit you need a permit for everything, but everyone's doing it. But if you get too big, they're gonna crack down on you. So they crack down on us. So all we got today, JD, is our Hawaiian, dark and white, and then we have a pea berry. I also have this other item. This is a turmeric flower tea, and this smells like a honeysuckle turmeric. It's this comes from the flower of the turmeric plant. This was just dried out from turmeric flowers we harvested over the weekend, and it's something that's seasonal. I'm the only person that has it, and it actually has all the benefits of turmeric. It's anti-inflammatory, gives you joint support, um, mood support. It really calms you down. Good for your digestion. But unlike turmeric, it's very sweet. It's not like your other like turmeric. I just can't. I don't like turmeric. You planted some of your turmeric, dark side. Did you plant it outside or inside? I don't know if anyone's getting paid off, but I only say that because I don't want to. I don't want people thinking I'm against anyone. I'm not against anyone. In a pot, you can take that in. You can take that inside to the greenhouse. Oh, Strawberry Hill Bakery. Jeez. Thank you for the raid, Strawberry Hill Bakery. Um, don't know what to say. Thank you for the raid. The tasty, tasty stuff. We're talking about turmeric flower tea right now. This is unique tea, which thanks for that raid, Strawberry Hill. Give them a follow. They got some sweet breads and all that stuff like that. So this is a turmeric flower tea that we grow, and this is a sweet, almost like a honeysuckle. And this was just dehydrated. The turmeric flower, I'll do a giveaway too. The turmeric flower only flowers if you leave the turmeric in the ground. This will make a about a liter, 1 to 2 liters of tea. So it's a large amount of tea. I give you 2 full stalks, sometimes 3 if they're smaller stalks. Even the small stalks will make you um, a full liter or more. And the tea tastes like a honeysuckle with a touch of turmeric. So it's actually really tasty, very, very sweet. But I mainly grow Hawaiian coffee here. This is 100% Hawaiian coffee, all grown on the big island of Hawaii where we have an active volcano. I only have a dark Hawaiian and a light and a white Hawaiian. The tea, you just throw it in a pot of water and boil it for 5 minutes. Uh, MF Duck, how you doing? How's it going today with everyone? And so this coffee is guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux or indigestion. It's and that's hard to believe, but it's true. This coffee will not give you any acid reflux or indigestion, mainly because of how ripe it is. We only pick the overripe coffee. We wait for the coffee to become soft, deep red, purple, or brown before taking it off the trees. Whereas you guys are used to drinking coffee that is picked unripe, right? You guys are used to drinking coffee that's picked when it's basically red orange. If you're lucky, you'll get a ripe coffee. And so you guys are used to drinking unripe coffee. It's like drinking orange juice from green oranges. And that's why most coffee you guys are used to is either very bitter or very sour. It's the same bitterness as you find in any other fruit. Most of us don't think of coffee like it's a fruit. We think of it it's like a tea where, it's like a leaf or a branch. Doesn't matter how ripe it is, but coffee is actually a fruit. It's actually a nut. And we're coming at you live from Hawaii here, live from the farm. This is what coffee looks like after it's been dried. This is called parchment. You never see parchment because when you import coffee from other regions of the world, the coffee is going to be shelled first. Yep, we only do whole bean coffee, no flavors, and we don't do any decaf coffee. We're just too small. All this coffee is grown on small 6-acre farms. Some of us have 20-acre farms. Mine's a small 6-acre farm. We are part of a co-op. All this coffee is being grown in Hawaii here in South Kona. So this is basically Kona coffee. If you guys don't know what Kona coffee is, it's the sweetest, smoothest, and most expensive coffee in the world. But we have a grade of coffee called Hawaiian, which is like 90% as good as Kona coffee. Same flavor profile, same sweetness, coming off the same trees until, uh, and we don't have any pods, no chemicals. We don't spray with any chemical pesticides. We're only using naturally occurring soil funguses and soil bacteria on this coffee. So the coffee is as a result of that, the coffee won't give you the jitters. A lot of coffee gives you the jitters because of the chemical pesticides. Chemical pesticides are usually nerve toxins because bugs are very sensitive to nerve toxins. So we don't have any chemical pesticides. We're only using naturally occurring soil funguses and soil bacteria. Our dark roast, this is the dark Hawaiian here. Our dark roast even is a little bit light. You guys are probably used to getting, we call this our extra dark. You guys are used to getting a dark roast like this where it's oily. So this is more like this is more a what's it called? This is more of a dark roast here. We also have Hawaiian chocolate. The chocolate tea is made from the husk of the chocolate seed. Pretty unique. You don't really see that anywhere, and you can really taste the you can actually feel the chocolate. But this coffee guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux or indigestion just because of how ripe it is. We let the coffee sit on the tree for 4 to 6 weeks. It's like letting a banana turn brown or an apple turn brown. The ripeness of the coffee is off the charts, and that ripeness gives you more sugar. The coffee doesn't have any of the sourness, just like letting a banana turn brown or an apple turn brown. You don't get any of the sourness of the coffee. You don't get any of the bitterness because it converts the. Um, thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys helping me sell the coffee here. I know I'm not always on point. That's something you will learn about me. I'll go off the deep end if I ever say anything. You guys will probably never come back. I get it. So I'm trying to stay focused. Gotta stay focused on the coffee. Now, the dark roast tastes like a toasted caramel brown sugar. It smells like chocolate coming out of the roaster. The other thing about our coffee is it's always extremely fresh. This dark roast was roasted on Friday, and yeah, this coffee won't even make you really run to the bathroom. Some of you like it. I don't have any medium roast. I only have medium peaberry. I don't have any. Yeah, I'll have some. I should have some medium roast tomorrow. I'm a little bit. So if you ordered medium Hawaiian, that's also a little bit backed up. And if you guys want the flash sale, this is a quick flash sale here. I'll do another giveaway right now. So this is the Hawaiian dark roast here. Extremely sweet and smooth. No bitterness, no sourness in this coffee. Won't give you any acid reflux or indigestion. And it's once you drink this coffee, very hard to go back to other coffees. There's another 2 ounce sampler. So if you never tried this coffee before, you need to try it. There's it was roasted on Friday. Most of the coffees you guys are buying in the stores have been sitting on the shelf for sometimes 18 months. That's the technical shelf life of coffee is 18 months. So thanks, Wendy. So the coffee is smoother and sweeter, guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux. So if you're trying it for the first time and you get acid reflux for any reason, indigestion, I'll give you 100% of your money back. So really good for your gut. Won't have to use, antacids or any stuff like that. Really, just really nice and easy on your gut. We do have something called a white coffee, which is something very different. This white coffee is like an energy drink. So coffee has two alkaloids in it. One of the alkaloids is caffeine, which we all know about. The other one is called trigonylene. And trigonylene becomes something called methylamine when you roast it to 250 degrees. That's the meth part of methamphetamine. If you guys watch Breaking Bad, it's remember the guy Jesse needed to find methylamine to get to get to make meth. It's not meth. All right, it's not meth, but it does affect you in a very similar way. It makes you euphoric. That's why you can't eat a caffeine pill and feel the way you feel on coffee. That's why you can't. That's why you can't drink tea and feel the way you feel on coffee. It's not the caffeine. It's this other compound, methylamine. But unlike, it's not going to make your teeth fall out. It's actually good for you. So this energy drink it's a happy energy drink. It doesn't taste like coffee, thanks, and it tastes like a sweet corn, roasted corn tea. Compared to other white coffee, someone told me they bought white coffee because mine didn't come quickly enough, and they told me that the coffee wasn't it was bitter, whereas our white coffee is sweet, almost like a maple syrup with peanuts and toasted corn. Tastes like a tea, but it's like drinking feels like drinking 10 cups of coffee. So the white coffee is amazing. It's all I drink now. You can feel it in your muscle. It gets rid of body discomfort. Um, it helps you focus. Some people told me they drink a cup of this and they just clean their house. For me, I can go on and stream for hours when I do this white coffee. It just makes you feel really good. And in rat studies, they found that it gets rid of their neuropathy. It gets rid of pain in rats. It gets rid of inflammation. Improves the rat's glucose levels. Improves insulin sensitivity. Supports their organs. Just on and on and on. So all the health benefits of coffee are concentrated. You tried the Kona White, nice. Yeah, no, this coffee shouldn't give you the jitters. The jitters comes from unripe coffee, and it comes from coffee which was sprayed with chemical pesticides. Those chemical pesticides are um, nerve toxins. So if you drink coffee and you find that the line is like vibrating like this, you don't want to drink that coffee anymore because that's probably it's not the caffeine. It's this other stuff. It's either mold or it's chemical pesticides. Exit, yeah, I don't have control over that. I have to send it to you. No bad days. There's still gonna, if you drink too much of the white coffee, you still may get some bad days. And you do get, yep, you tried occasion, you got your coffee. Yeah, it does make your body kind of tingly. Even the dark roast people have told me their body feels really good. There's just something about Kona coffee that when you let coffee ripen to its full genetic potential, it just it for whatever reason, I gotta send you that coffee exit. For whatever reason, the coffee just doesn't affect your body the same way. It's just the ripeness of the coffee. It's 4 weeks riper, so all the bitterness and the sourness in the coffee goes away. But the white coffee is also really good for your skin, so it's better for your skin than kojic acid. I don't know if you guys know about skincare. I don't know that much, but I did some research, and trigonelline is better for you than kojic acid. Everything that you guys ordered through Saturday should be going out. So this is actually Kona coffee. It's just the lower grade of Kona coffee. It's the less dense beans. All the coffee, so Kona coffee and our Hawaiian coffee all comes nice. All the coffee, Kona coffee and Hawaiian coffee are all in this bag together. They just get separated after. Um, I do have some Kona coffee if you guys are looking for. I believe I still have some dark prime. Let me let me double check in a second. I believe I do have some dark prime coffee. Let me just check how much of it I have. And I have some Kona Peaberry, which is the highest grade of Kona coffee, the rarest. This is the Peaberry here, but the Hawaiian coffee is actually Kona coffee. It's just Kona coffee grading. There's extremely high standards on the Kona coffee. Kona coffee has to be above 16/64 of an inch to be called Kona coffee. If it's smaller than that, we got to call it Hawaiian coffee, and that's the only difference. But let me do one quick. I don't know if I should do this, but I got to take a break. So I'm gonna go check on my stock of Kona coffee. So I'm gonna do a $1 start on 3 pounds of the Hawaiian coffee. 3 pounds of Hawaiian coffee retail $120, even more. In fact, if you come to Hawaii, the only other person selling Hawaiian coffee sells it for 2 pounds for 115. So Hawaiian coffee is Kona coffee. It's just we're not allowed to label it that way because the beans are 1/64 inch too small. Kona coffee has really high standards. So here's 3 pounds of the Kona coffee, guys. I'm gonna go check on my stock and run to the bathroom, but make sure don't miss out on this. This really is a people are selling this for 2 pounds for $115. We retail it for $120. I'll be right back. Okay, I have like 12 bags of dark estate left. All right. You can freeze it. That's crazy. Let me just show you what the difference. Do I have it? Darn it, I lost it. I had that really crazy bean. I'm not together. Give you an idea of the difference between, Kona coffee, or rather, so coffee grown in Kona gets really big. This is a coffee grown in Kona here. This is a coffee, typical size coffee, maybe a larger bean even. You can see our beans are just way bigger. Even the Hawaiian beans are way bigger. So the Hawaiian coffee is like the hidden gem. I believe I have Cajun. Yeah, I believe everything that you guys bought over the weekend will be scanned today, I hope. I have them all downstairs. I'm dropping off. The post office doesn't always scan it the same day, but it's definitely getting scanned. We're pretty much caught up except Sunday's show. I have some 12 ounces. Let me run some 12 ounces. Unless, here we go. This is also the 12 ounce of the dark, and I have 8 ounce of the prime Kona. Prime is just one grade above the Hawaiian. So this is technically, this is grown in Kona. We don't label it Kona coffee because it's 1/64 of an inch too small. And so it's half the price of Kona coffee, 50% less. I'll run the 2 ounce Peaberry as well. This is a 12 ounce of the dark Hawaiian. And our dark roast is relatively light. This is the dark roast here. All right, so it's relatively light for a coffee for dark roast. It's more like maybe a medium of what you guys are used to getting. I'll run another one of these and I'll run the Peaberry. Whereas you guys are probably used to getting a dark like this, but because our coffee doesn't have any bitterness and doesn't have any sourness, we can roast our coffee lighter so you get more of the flavor profile. Medium Katura. That's the Katura. I don't know if, unless it's an E, that would be medium estate. The Katura is the special coffee. I don't know if you guys knew what that was, but that was the special coffee that we have as a yellow Katura. We don't have any more of that for now. We may have that in a month or two. I would grind it relatively coarse. Yep, like a coarse sea salt. I think that's the best way to grind it. It brings out the sweetness. A lot of people say if you grind your coffee coarse, it'll be sour, but because our coffee doesn't start out with any acidity, because we pick the coffee overripe, we wait for the coffee to come deep red, purple, or brown before picking it. And this is the Peaberry you guys are getting. The Katura is really good. Yep, a lot of people like the Katura. Although other people are like this, it tastes almost the same. So all of our coffees are still Kona coffee. It's almost all coming off the same trees. So it's going to be relatively similar. Generally speaking, the coffee is all pretty close. And the Peaberry is the most expensive coffee that we have. You can see it's not flat, right? It happens at the tips of the trees. It's like when a peanut takes over the entire fruit. So instead of having two halves to the coffee, one of the halves takes over and kind of curls up on itself. It's twice as dense as the regular coffee that we have. It is a unique 1 in 100 beans becomes Peaberry, so it's much rarer. People will charge you $56 for 7 ounces for this. Some people are charging $150 per pound. So this is the rarest of all our coffees. It's the highest grade we have available. It's the most expensive because how rare it is. It takes a lot of effort to produce the Peaberry because we have to mill it. We have to run it through grates and collect the Peaberry. A lot of farms don't even separate their Peaberry out because it's so much effort. Your typical farm will produce 500 to 2,000 pounds of roasted coffee, and 1% of their coffee is Peaberry, so they're getting 5 pounds to 20 pounds a year. We can only get this if you're part of a co-op. Otherwise, you just can't produce. You can't, as a single farm, you just don't produce any of it. It's very hard to separate. The flavor profile of the Peaberry This actually has tastes like honey at the end. So it starts out fruitier than our Hawaiian, although it's still very, very similar, right? It's still very similar, but it's buttery because of how dense it is. It roasts differently. There's a lot more oils in this coffee, and you can taste that oil as a feels smoother on your tongue. Yeah, the white coffee will break your grinder. Anza Wubs is right. And I still have another 3 pounds of your coffee, Anza Wubs. So you're gonna be getting 6 pounds. I still have 3 more pounds that it wouldn't fit in your box that I have to send out separately. So we also have a dark pea berry. The dark pea berry, uh, I'll run a 8 ounce bag here. The dark pea berry is our highest grade, or the not highest grade of the dark. It's smooth. It's a little bit buttery. It's the smoothest dark roast you're ever going to taste, but it still retains the nuttiness of the lighter roast. So the pea berry just has a broader flavor profile compared to your Hawaiian coffee. Although the Hawaiian coffee tends to be sweeter, but the pea berry is smoother. You can taste the oils in there, and I'll do a 2 ounce sampler of that. Here's the dark pea berry. You guys are really nice, you know. I don't really ever feel like whatnot chat abuses me. I do feel abused when I use other platforms. And I used to like it, but I would like respond and then I get banned. So it's sort of like dealing with my wife. You have to take the abuse, but if you respond, you're the problem. So I don't know. So now I just ban people if I feel like I want to respond. If I feel like I want to start having fun, then I just got to ban you because I'm not allowed to have fun. Yeah, if you respond to abuse with abuse, you're the problem. Go for you too. So this is another dark pea berry. No fun. We're not allowed to have fun. I was having some fun. No, don't get me started. So the pea berry this is the smoothest of all our coffees. Why don't I do a $1 start on this dark pea berry? I don't know if I'm gonna have this pea berry for a long time. I'll probably have it again in September, October, but we're hitting a point where we're running to the end of the coffee. Yep. Yep. It's like my wife. She's like, it's the way you respond. You're just wrong. And responding to abuse with abuse is still abuse. I think guys need to learn that, right? Here we go. It's starting. No more. Back to the coffee. Back to the coffee. Back to the coffee. Back to the coffee. Focus. Focus on the coffee. All right. So that's our pea berry, guys. Something else we have is the cacao nibs. This is a nice product. The cacao nibs is chocolate that's been broken up into pieces. So this is chocolate that's been broken up into pieces. This is not the packaging, but you can see me keeping it in here. Just quickly. So this just tastes like a dark chocolate nut. It's the raw chocolate. These nibs are taste like a dark chocolate nut, but unlike dark chocolates from other regions of the world, they are not bitter at all. They're kind of fruity. So this is if you just love chocolate, I gotta ignore you guys. No politics. I'm never doing that. It doesn't pay enough. It really doesn't pay enough. That's why they're always bribing each other. You know, they Bloomberg's chief of staff offered to bribe me $100,000, and I told him, dude, if you're gonna bribe me, I need $100 million. Murder is murder is murder. Get organic coffee. Don't get the blood beans. And when I said I need $100 million if you want to bribe me, they got mad at me. Sorry, $1 start. They got really mad at me. They're like, we can't work with this guy. He's greedy. So this is an extra dark chocolate. Tastes like a chocolate nut, but it's actually good for you. It actually tastes good. And it actually tastes really good. It's pure chocolate essence. It's 100% Hawaiian chocolate, broken up into little pieces. You can just snack on it if you're hungry, and it feels nice. $2. All right, I screwed up. I didn't do that on purpose, actually. I need to change this. I gotta change my starting bids. I screw up a lot on this show, especially when you start getting me off my topic. So the Hawaiian chocolate is considered, extremely exotic. It's kind of got the best climate. Well, we got one of the best climates for chocolate as well as coffee. They're similar. They're both the seeds of the fruit. So that's why coffee can taste like chocolate, because they're both fruits, they're both seeds, and they're both fermented. Chocolate is also fermented. And this chocolate, these nibs are the raw chocolate. To make chocolate, you have to powder the nibs, heat it up, and the dark chocolate part runs off as cacao liqueur. And what's left behind is cocoa butter, which is the chocolate fat that you use for white chocolate. But this combines the two. There's no added sugars in here. It's just pure chocolate. Tastes like a chocolate nut, but has all the benefits of chocolate. Espresso, you can use a dark. I can't be president, red, white, and blue. I wasn't born here, so I've never had that desire. I've always known my place. Yeah, I've always known my place. So cacao nibs, no, don't change the law, because then you might get me, and then after that it's gonna be a disaster. So was Obama, right? And so was but Kamala probably had two American parents. Both my parents are immigrants, so don't change the law. Change it once, you think you're getting something good, and then after that it's a disaster. Just keep it the way it is. Stop changing things. You're like my wife. You think if you rearrange the furniture, things are gonna get better. And then next 6 months later you rearrange the furniture again. It just gets worse and worse. Now I gotta hire someone to fix the freaking closet that you put up last time. Just stop changing things. Stop changing things. Just leave it. It's not gonna make it any better. Cacao nibs. So these nibs are no bitterness. Most dark chocolate has a lot of bitterness to it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I know. I know sometimes I make you guys feel attacked. I do. Nibs are really good. Grind it into a powder. You can brew your espresso with it. It'll add a chocolate flavor to it. But the chocolate tea is, I think, really unique because you actually feel it. We've all heard chocolate makes you feel like you're in love, but then you eat the chocolate, doesn't make you feel anything. I don't know if that's the case for most of you, but I know if I eat a chocolate bar, I've never felt anything from a chocolate bar, right? But this chocolate tea actually, you can feel it. So chocolate has this alkaloid in it called theobromine, and the tea is the shell of the chocolate. Are the cacaos in them? They are roasted. Chocolate gets roasted. Yep, chocolate is roasted. So the cacao tea, you can brew it. It's water soluble. It's concentrated with chocolate flavor. Want me to run the honey? It makes you feel regret. That's funny. People are telling me they're starting to make chocolate out of almond bark. So chocolate's apparently too expensive. So they're starting to use almond bark to make chocolate. It's not even chocolate anymore. What are we doing? What are we doing, honey? Let's see if I have any honey here. I do have some Hawaiian honey, but I don't have. Yeah, it's getting delivered on Wednesday, so it's going to be a small delay. And assuming all goes well, we do have the Hawaiian honey. This is the Hawaiian honey here. This is a really large amount of honey. So it's a 32-ounce jar, mason jar. 32-ounce jar is exactly what it comes in. There's the color of the honey. The honey tastes like it's probably some of the sweetest honey I've ever had. A lot of times honey is like kind of musty and sour, but this mm, is pure sugar. Sometimes honey even like burns your throat, but this honey doesn't do that. So this Hawaiian honey, all grown on the Big Island. It's collected from all over the island. I get it from this lady down the hill, and she basically puts bee boxes all over the island. We're a little bit too high in elevation to do honey, but she does this honey, and these come in 32-ounce jars. I would try all sorts of things, and so it weighs 3.5 pounds. So it is a very heavy honey, or it's a lot of honey. 32 ounces of honey is a lot of honey. Coming direct from Hawaii, just jarred. They just jar it as I order it. So, what do you mean? Oh, for the red honey. Good honey. Sandon got a bunch of them, and apparently she approves. So it was her idea to get this honey. I was a little bit reluctant to sell other people's honey, but she was like, "Get the honey, sell the honey," and selling it. And I just do what Sandon tells me to do. She's got good judgment on these things, I think. Um, very sweet honey. Sandon, you should be a seller. Seems like you should sell some stuff from. You said Atlanta, was it, or Minnesota? It's one of those. And so this is a full 32-ounce jar. It is a deal, actually. Atlanta. What do they do in Atlanta? I know they got good stuff. Some good stuff there, right? 32 ounces of honey. It is a good deal because honey from anywhere is usually this price or more for 32 ounces. So this is a lot of honey. This is actually a lot of honey. This is a full, 32 ounces of honey here. And if you already bought something, you could just throw this in your box because I don't think the shipping is going to be as cheap going forward because right now it's flat rate shipping. Only got 2 weeks left of that. And after that, I think, yeah, so we're just clearing this honey out. I like to go with high volume, low margins because I'm Chinese, but I don't label anything. Maybe also because I'm Chinese. It's funny how culture just makes you do things. Someone on TikTok was yelling at me like, "Why don't you label your coffee? What kind of company doesn't label their coffee?" I'm like, "I just don't have time. To stick a label on takes a minute. People get tired sticking labels on, so they quit. So I have to work with what I have, and people are very slow. They work very meticulously, which is part of the reason why the coffee is so sweet. But people are very slow. They don't like to do high volume, repetitive tasks. So it's better to, people in Hawaii are like crafts people. They want to pick only the good coffee. They want to take their time. And labeling things is just this repetitive task over and over again. No one wants to do that. So they'll just do it very slowly. They'll stick the sticker on perfectly, take their time and turn it around, put the sticker on one bag at a time. Like, I can't do that, guys. It's going to cost me too much. I just can't do it. Sorry. All right. What are we doing next? Um, Macnuts. So the macadamia nuts, also unique to Hawaii. These are the easiest nuts to digest in the world. Before I do that, why don't I run a $1 start on the honey? Let's see if you guys will bid on it. Let's do a $1 start on this honey. What is that noise? Here's a $1 start on the honey, guys. Full, yummy, yummy honey. Too sweet. You want me to raise the price? I think this is a fair price. I don't want to raise the price just because I can. I'll do one more. The flowers that go into this honey are ohia, Christmas berry, eucalyptus, and there's coffee flowers, avocado flowers. Kind of, there isn't a single flower, but ohia is pretty unique. And Hawaiian flowers are really, really sweet, just because those micronutrient content, the amount of sunlight that we get, the rain, all the climate in Hawaii, and the purity, the lack of pollution makes everything here just grow really well and clean and fresh. So that's our honey there. The Macnuts are also really tasty, also unique. And one kind of dirty secret of Hawaiian Macnuts these days, or Hawaiian Macnut companies, if we're buying the Macnuts from a big company, it doesn't say 100% Hawaiian macadamia nuts. They're actually getting their nuts from Australia and Kenya now, because Hawaiian nuts are too expensive. Our nuts are, you will taste it. It's richer. It's buttery. These nuts are the only nuts you can eat if you have kidney stones. Almost tastes a little peppery. Why the sadness, Jonathan? So when you get nuts from Australia, and kind of can taste it. It tastes like a little bit cardboardy. It doesn't have the same richness as our nuts. Same with our coffee. Same with the chocolate. Because of that active volcano, everything here just, the flavor just explodes. The amount of oil and everything just is way, way, way higher than anywhere else. So, hey Connie, I'll double check on your item, but we were, I believe, from July 8th. We still have some orders that were hanging behind. Um, Happy to refund you, but we did have some hiccups there. I apologize for that. I'm trying to get. I think most of the stuff from last week is going to be out as of today. We finished packing up a lot of stuff over the weekend. So our shipping does have some problems here and there. You'll definitely get it, but things can take a little bit longer at times. All right, I did find I have 16 bags of estate Kona. So if you guys want some 100% Kona coffee, estate grade, I'll run those. This is the dark estate. The white coffee is really good. Yeah, the white coffee doesn't even taste like coffee, right? SOF Connie, let me look you up there. So the dark coffee doesn't even taste, I'm sorry. The white coffee doesn't even taste like coffee. It tastes more like a tea, but it gives you this incredible amount of energy. Kind of just such a strong buzz. It's amazing. SOF Connie. I don't always have the computer with me. That's how rural we are. I don't even use a computer. But when I do, all right, I see your order here. 3 ounces of, I'm just gonna reprint this SOF Connie, and I'll make sure it goes out today. It was a follower giveaway. Okay. Yeah, I'll make sure this goes out today. I apologize for that. So I got Kitty Mindo and SOF Connie from the 8th. I know we had some stuff from the 8th that still didn't go out. Not sure why. Exactly. We did do one down at our one of our roasters down, and I'll probably maybe do another one on Wednesday, just a short one. I do not roast my coffee at my farm anymore. We go down to one of my buddies' farms to roast because my roaster was in the house. It broke. We were gonna fix it, and the earthquake happened, and that whole room actually collapsed. And then my wife doesn't want us to fix it anymore. She wants me to bring it down to the deck. She says, even though she doesn't even stay here, but she says she doesn't want it to burn down the house, even though we've been roasting on it for 10 years. Anyway, don't get me started. It's all right. She's awesome. I love my wife. She has raised a beautiful daughter. And what more can a man ask for? So we only have the Hawaiian Ultra White. Exactly. That's all she wants is to be safe. Right now, I don't have the extra fancy in white. I only have the Hawaiian in white, but this will give you the same buzz, really nice, sweet flavor, almost the same as the extra fancy. Um, so we don't have the fancy white today, though. We only have it in the Hawaiian, but you don't need to spend that extra money for the extra fancy if you just like the Hawaiian. I have these in 12-ounce bags too for 25. So if you want to get a larger bag instead of getting a bunch of small ones, you can do that. Significantly cheaper for the Hawaiian. And the only difference between Hawaiian and Kona was really just the bean size and the density of the bean and the prettiness. Hawaiian coffee can be kind of misshapen, and so it may look not as good. The strongest by far is the ultra white. I mean, the white coffee, 1 cup of the white coffee is like 10 cups of dark roast. It really is that strong, and it's kind of crazy strong. You can feel it in your bones. I don't have any Katura. Is it in my shop there? Yeah, I don't have any Katura. Katura is a separate species. It's a sub variety of coffee that's a little bit sweeter. Um, it's kind of a unique item that we have, but we're out of it. We only produce a few hundred pounds of that per year. I'll do this white at a $1 start, 12-ounce bag of the white Hawaiian. So if you want a larger bag, um, so the white coffee, we call it white because it's roasted so light. We are on the Big Island, Diana. Yep. We're coming at you live from the Big Island. Those are Cook pines behind me, planted by Captain Cook when he came here because he needed sailor masts. And there were no, so he planted those pines throughout Polynesia so that he would be able to build sails to go home, although he never made it. It does feel like you're flying. Yeah, it's the strongest stuff we have. I drink it every day. The only problem is once you drink the white coffee, the other coffees just don't give you the same buzz anymore. But there's this other compound in coffee called trigonelline. Trigonelline, and it's people are actually extracting it as a supplement these days. Trigonelline is actually really good for your skin. That's the latest kind of piece of research I found on it. It's better than kojic acid for your skin. It also it also prevents damage from UV radiation. So it's got all sorts of good things about it. It is a natural I don't want to say that, but in rats, it lowered their pain, it lowered their inflammation, improved their blood sugar levels, improved their insulin sensitivity, all sorts of really good stuff. So it's just like an herbal tea in a way. It's roasted so light that all the polyphenols are still in there. It's somewhat savory, it's sweet. It doesn't taste like coffee, it tastes more like a sweet corn tea. So it's very, very strong, but it's also very good for you. It's an NAD plus precursor, so boost your NAD levels, and um almost you can replace your energy drinks. but it's healthy for you, supports your organs, and it just makes you kind of it does kind of make you feel like you're flying. What that means is it makes time go by really, really quickly. Hours will pass, but you're just working. You're just focused. You don't have that same, at least for me, I don't feel inhibited. So you might say too much. I feel like sometimes I drink the white coffee and just start rambling about things and offending people. If you're offensive to begin with, it's going to make you more offensive. It's almost like a little bit like drinking alcohol. So you do have to be cautious. Like when I started drinking the white coffee, I got kicked off my TikTok. I got banned on LinkedIn. Yeah, I do ramble, loose lips. I'm trying to control that. For a while, I thought you guys wanted me to be crazy, but I started noticing, maybe I'm doing too much. So let me just stay focused on the coffee. Yeah, someone asked me, "Does the white coffee make you racist?" And I said, "Only if you started out racist, it'll definitely bring that out. So you got to be careful." um, so be careful. Be careful what you say to people when you're on the white coffee. Only if you drink a lot. You want to grind it fine, very fine, because it's not roasted dark. It's not roast. Darker roasts are more more water soluble. So the dark roasts are water soluble, and so that's why when you don't, yeah. Do you just take trips to the ghetto? Because if you do, I'm not gonna ask you why. Not gonna ask you why you're doing that, because I already know why. Now the pea berry is our, highest grade of coffee. And this is the pea berry. It's a deformity in the bean where one of the beans takes over the entire fruit. So instead of having two halves to the bean, you only have one half. Is that really why you go? I know why you go. I won't say. That's not why I go to the ghetto. I kind of live in the ghetto, actually. I don't want to tell you that. The ghettos of Hawaii are up in the mountains. So this is no, I used to live in Harlem, so that's kind of ghetto, kind of. And also Brooklyn was kind of ghetto. But the ghettos all became nice. So this is the pea berry. This is the highest grade of coffee. This sells for 56 bucks for 7 ounces. This is the smoothest coffee you're ever gonna try. Most complex. It takes 100 pounds of coffee to produce 1 pound of pea berry. So it is harder to get, and sometimes I can't get this anymore. Not gonna do that again. Now the other item that I have that's really unique, and I kind of wanted to push this one is red, white, and blue didn't like it when I started saying I'm gonna join Team Mexico. I was thinking about joining Team Mexico for a long time because I feel like Mexico is up and coming. I think in the next 100 years, Mexico, they're everywhere. Mexicans are everywhere. Like they're in the UK, they're in Europe. You love Mexico, okay? I thought so. That's not what I said that pissed you off. I know I said something. Mexico. I need to join Team Mexico. All right, so the yellow turmeric flowers, you accept. Yeah, Mexicans love me. I don't know what it is. Oh, phew. So was your mood. It wasn't me. I was in a bad mood over the weekend too. This is the turmeric flower. This will make one of these flowers will make you a liter of tea. It's anti-inflammatory. It tastes like it's got a touch of that turmeric flavor, but it also tastes like a honeysuckle. Very, very sweet. This flower takes 2 years to grow. You have to leave turmeric in the ground for more than a year in order to get this flower. So people don't, there's no one else selling it because everyone who grows turmeric harvest their turmeric after a year. They gotta sell the turmeric roots. I don't sell the roots. I don't sell that much of the roots. I mainly grow them from flowers. And so these flowers are just coming into season now. We did our first dehydrated batch. This is our second dehydrated batch. We produce these in just small, tiny little batches, and each of these flowers will make about a liter worth of tea. It's Yeah, I feel like Mexicans are the only people who have money right now in America. Everyone else spent all their money, but Mexicans seem to have a lot of money. So I'm catering to Mexicans, guys. This flower tea, Mexicans will love it. Don't say that. Yeah, Americans are broke. Mexicans, they got money. I don't know. They work hard. We need to cater to Mexicans. Yellow turmeric flowers, really, really strong anti-inflammatory. One of these, I give you 2 to 3 flowers, depending, either two big ones or, if I give you small ones, up to 4 flowers. And each of these will make about a liter, a quart of tea. And anti-inflammatory. It's a sweet tea, calms you down, has all the benefits of turmeric, but tastes really good. Doesn't I don't like the taste of turmeric. I really don't like the taste of turmeric. No, you're probably not gonna get um, a flower. Very unlikely you're gonna get a turmeric flower if you're growing it yourself. Although I've never, it's possible, but you gotta leave the turmeric in the ground or in the soil for more than a year, and then you might get a flower. So I didn't. Most people don't even know turmeric produces a flower. A lot of times in regular soil, it'll just produce this flimsy little stalk. So it's actually hard to get this flower, and very sweet. You should get about, I don't know, depending on when you planted it, you should get about a pound of turmeric if you keep on throwing the organic matter. But you gotta leave the turmeric in the ground for more than a year, sometimes even 2 years for it to produce its first flower. So it's not something that you really find anywhere else. I'll do one more of these guys and then that's it. Anti-inflammatory, calms you down at night. Almost has that same body buzz of the white coffee, but doesn't get you flying like the white coffee. Definitely not. But it does have all those anti-inflammatory effects of turmeric, joint support, muscle support, things like that. So one of my favorite teas to drink at night. Very, very sweet. And just you can throw it in your rice. People cook with it, but it's kind of a unique product. I know the Philippines uses these fresh, and that's it. I don't know anyone else that uses these. Just very hard to grow because turmeric people people harvest the turmeric the same year, and then you don't get the turmeric flowers. All right, that's my turmeric flower there. I guess you guys want to pay about $5 for those. I can see that. May help with a lot of things. Morpheus, were you the one who had the um the gout? Because I saw something about clearing uric acid, but I don't know exactly. So anyway, so those are my turmeric flower stalks. They're also just grown fresh in Hawaii. I'll do some more giveaways. Mm. How about we give away some turmeric flowers? Both got gout. That sucks. You know the if you did you guys eat out a lot? I feel like in Hawaii people use a lot of additives to their food, and yeah, there's like a lot of MSG in the food. So I try not to eat out here. Every time I eat out, I get messed up. Huh, sucks. Yeah, apparently they got a lot of gout here too. I think it's the MSG and all the additives they use. They cook like Asians, you know. So they add a lot of MSG into the food, and then I don't know. Every time I eat out, I get dizzy. I don't like to eat out when I'm here. All right, guys. If you guys are joining us for the first time, uh, ish. Hey, I'm sorry to hear that. So if you guys are joining us for the first time, we're coming at you live from Hawaii on the Big Island, where we have an active volcano here. We're coming at you from South Kona. These are the mountains of South Kona, where we have a Kona coffee farm. We also grow turmeric, taro, ginger, macadamia nuts, bananas, and this is going to be the sweetest, smoothest coffee you guys have probably ever tried in your life. This coffee is guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux and indigestion because of how we pick the coffee. So most of the world's coffee is picked with a machine, or it's picked by people who are getting paid $1 per 100 pounds of coffee, whereas we're paying people $1 per 1 pound of coffee. Completely different economics. And when you're getting paid $1 per 100 pounds of coffee, you're going to be grabbing whatever coffee you can get off the trees, right? You're going to be just grabbing as much as you can. And so the coffee you get is not going to be as ripe as us. You look online, a lot of people are picking red oranges, they're picking pinks, and that coffee is going to be sour and bitter. On top of that, we have uh, the nutritional support in our soil. Our soil is richer, sweeter, smoother, guaranteed not and for all those reasons, and because we picked the coffee overripe, it's like letting a banana turn brown or apple turn brown. The coffee is just way sweeter and smoother and won't give you acid reflux. Just like if you ate a green banana, you're going to get acid reflux, or a green strawberry, you're going to get acid reflux. But if you eat a strawberry that's maroon and soft, you can eat lots of those and no problem. Right? So that's the biggest difference, is how ripe we pick our coffee. Although without the nutritional support, without the climate, no matter how ripe you let it get, it would still be sour and bitter. So it really comes down to how ripe our coffee is, how we let the coffee ripen on the tree until it turns brown. All this coffee is grown on small 6-acre farms, small family farms. We don't spray the coffee with any chemical pesticides. We're only using naturally occurring soil funguses and soil bacteria. So, you know, the coffee fruit is allowed to ripen, and then we don't spray it with any pesticides. It's not going to give you the jitters. A lot of jitters comes from chemical pesticides, a lot of the indigestion, a lot of the anxiety you guys get from coffee. I know sometimes I drink other coffees and I almost feels like I did a stimulant. Like I just feel uneasy and I feel like someone's gonna come rob me. Just all sorts of bad things start happening in my head. Whereas with our Hawaiian coffee, you're not gonna feel that. I'm gonna do $1 start on this. This is a 12-ounce bag of the Hawaiian coffee. This is the Hawaiian coffee here. This is practically Kona coffee. Like if you put this side by side by the Kona coffee that you have, it's gonna make more of a difference which farm you bought it from than the fact that it was Kona coffee. So some Kona coffees can be very sweet. Other Kona coffees can be uh, bitter and sour. So it'll make a big difference about which farm you bought the coffee from than it does the grade. And so this coffee is going to be sweet and smooth. This coffee is guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux or indigestion. This coffee for us retails for $35 on our website. If you come to Hawaii, some people are charging you $35 for 8 ounces. So even this coffee is a specialty, single origin, coming off the Kona trees. It's just slightly smaller beans by 1/64 of an inch. Too short to be called Kona coffee, but it's not like the rejects, which we call off grade. But even the off grade coffees you guys have tried is really, really good. So all of our coffee is fresh. This coffee was roasted on Saturday, whereas most of the coffee guys are buying in the stores. If it's from the supermarket, it was roasted 12, 18 months ago. So this coffee is going to taste like a dark chocolate raisin. It came out of the roaster on Friday, and it smelled like a chocolate, just chocolate pastry, fried, fried churro, chocolate pastry, really smooth, very sweet. Um, Coffee usually gives me a lot of anxiety. Yep. So that was just a bit too low, so I can't really sell the coffee for that cheap. But Laura, you got a great get there. Now, what else do we have? You guys want the 100% Kona though? We do have a Kona Estate from last Thursday, and this Estate coffee, the beans are a little bit denser. I don't know if I have any Estate to show you guys. Clean, less than 1% defects on these beans. Very, very clean beans, perfectly formed beans. This usually goes for 50 bucks. I mean, no, it usually goes for $72 a pound on our website. You're getting it for $50 a pound here. I only have a few of those left. I'll auction off one of these. So there's an 8-ounce bag of the Estate coffee, which is the 100% Kona. If you guys know Kona coffee, you probably heard a lot of the times you buy Kona coffee at the stores. It's a 10% blend. So we don't blend any of our coffee. It's always 100%. Even our Hawaiian coffee is 100% Hawaiian. Right? It's just the grading. But this Morpheus, that was not you who had the gout issues. I remember now. Estate coffee, normally 70 bucks a pound. This at 25, it's 50 bucks a pound, which is what I hope to get for it. But you guys can bid on this one. The nibs, and you should try the cacao tea. I don't know if you've tried the cacao tea. Um, all right, we're a little bit low right now. Give me one sec, guys. Just gotta answer a few text messages. Sorry about that. Give me one sec. Coarse grind. Kona. I think you got to make your coffee however you normally make it. And then this way you have a good comparison. I always say you should grind it more coarse because that really brings out the sweetness, gets rid of any bitterness, makes it taste the way it smells. Um, but someone even said, "Oh, grinding the coffee coarse makes it sour." Well, that's true if the coffee had acidity in it, because then your body kind of you can your mouth or your tongue, when you add the bitterness to it, it kind of you don't feel the sourness as much. But with our coffee, there's almost no acidity to begin with because just how ripe it is. The cacao tea, though, I really like this cacao tea. It's I think I'm gonna go grab a bag of it in a second. The cacao tea actually has a high concentration of theobromine in it, which is a very calming alkaloid that actually is very good for your throat and your respiratory tract. Typically, you don't really get that in your chocolates, but with this, you do taste it or you do feel it. You can actually feel this cacao tea. I'm gonna go get some cacao tea actually. So if you give me a second, I'm just gonna run this one on a dollar start. I'm gonna go try some cacao tea today. I haven't had some in a while. Fiended. $2. You guys killed me there. $2. $2 for cacao tea. Come on, guys. 4 ounces of cacao tea for $2. All right. Well, this is the cacao tea here. I put everyone to sleep. You guys are here to hear me say crazy things, crazy offensive things. You guys want to hear something crazy and offensive? So here we go. So originally, me and the Russians started the war in Ukraine. You know, we agreed to light the world on fire. We used to talk about everything. And their reason for starting the war in Ukraine was waste disposal because before the Russian war started, see, I can say some crazy stuff. You know, there's this thing in society that I talk about, which is drugging people. I call it testing. The testing, TESSTING. And they sting people. They try to get people to show their true colors. And this is why all those NASA scientists and Air Force scientists committed suicide. They do this regular to people. Not even MK Ultra, it's lower level. It's just people at bars. It's the local drug dealers, local feminists, you know, they'll put drugs into your water to see, you know, if you're going to become uh, a rapist. They want to fish that out. So they were doing this on a large scale to people in Russia. This is just how communism and post-communists and, you know, gangster societies work. They want to separate, and that's also part of trying to get people to become gay. So they put the drugs into your water to try to loosen you up, try to make you, you know, clubbable, whatever it is. And after COVID, though, these drugs started affecting people differently. And so you had all these people becoming like violent zombies, especially in Russia. So they were like, how do we fix this? The solution was a war. So you look at all the soldiers that Russia recruits, they're all criminals. And they're just sending them to die because they didn't know what to do with them. It wasn't a movie, it's true. Unless you heard this story, I already told you the story. So, but now it's a big problem because they all the criminals are dead. You know, Russia, they recruited all their criminals. They're all dead. They can't get enough people. The Ukrainians are also similar thing, but now they're actually winning. And so Russia, the only way they're going to be able to end this war, I think, is that Russia is going to have to drop a nuke. So that's what I'm worried about right now. But anyway, we got some chocolate tea. I'm going to run one more of these guys. Chocolate tea. Hopefully I woke you up. Chocolate tea will be calming. And a lot of this, you know, the stuff we see in the streets where people are getting violent and then, you know, kind of people already knew about these people. It's because of that whole cultural thing. And some of you guys may be doing it. I don't know. Because there are legitimate reasons, right? But that's part of the whole cancel culture thing. It's not just they cancel you after they drug you and then you start. It's almost like I drank white coffee and now I'm just going off. A lot of people do more than go off. They become violent, they become sexual assaulters, they do all sorts of weird things. Whereas other people become gay. It's just this thing where you push people to the extreme. But so this was this whole thing that was happening. All right. Chocolate. I just gotta brew this real quick. Sorry guys, I forgot to brew it. Sorry, guys, I'm back. I'm back. So a lot of these things that we want to blame on MK Ultra and conspiracies, it actually comes from cultural. I could, but I promised Trimcore. They actually asked me repeatedly to help. Like I stopped a series. I'm the only person alive, not alive, but in the last 20 years who's ever stopped a war. I stopped the Syrian war, and you did crash. You had 12 cups, Evie. Are you okay? Are you okay, Evie? 12 cups is a lot. I didn't start it. I was part of the discussion. I kind of goaded Russia into doing it because we had set a trap for them. Because in 2012, during the Syrian war, after I stopped the Syrian war, Russia tried to invade Ukraine for the first time, and I was really pissed off. So we and it's not just me, but we gave the Ukrainians each small arms. We've armed every Ukrainian with a handgun. And so when Russia invaded the second time, everyone had a handgun and they popped them, and that stopped the invasion. Um, and then I was the one that made the call because China back then was giving me intel on Russia for some reason. I don't know why. And I can tell the Russians were demoralized. They didn't want to be there. So I told the Ukrainians to attack back, and they took back 90% of the land that the Russians took. And then after that, I quit. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Because before that, I was all for peace. And then something in me just flipped. I don't know exactly what it was. And I told you before, I think I was trying to impress a girl. So something in me just flipped. And the thing is, and probably a lot of you guys who are in the military, you guys know this, the more you try to impress someone with violence, the less they want to have anything to do with you. So I've never, so after that. So you don't want to try to impress girls by showing them you can start a war. It doesn't work, guys. Doesn't work. Don't do it. Doesn't impress anyone by showing them, you can take out a terrorist. Just makes them more scared of you. It really doesn't work. So yeah, but I'm the only person that ever stopped a war. And so when Trump was like, "Oh, we're gonna stop this war with Russia," I was like, "No, you're not. There's no fucking way. You have no idea what you're doing." And it didn't work. And now they're trying to stop the war in Iran. I'm like, "No, you're not. I actually stopped the last war with Iran. No one wants to buy anything." That's right. Yeah, I actually stopped the last war in Iran when Trump killed Soleimani. They almost started a war then, and I stopped that. But that was the last time. I was like, I'm never helping anyone again. Never helping you guys. Because every time I stopped the war, all those people that should have been killing each other showed up at my farm and volunteered to work for me. And then they'd be like winking at each other. Like I had this Israeli and this Palestinian both working on our farm, and they were all lovey-dovey the whole time, winking at each other, winking at me like they knew better than me, like they had some intel that I didn't have, and they probably did, setting things up. So I just decided after that, I was like, and then they drugged me. I don't know who did it. I do know one person is a French guy, but all these guys started drugging me. And I was just like, you know what? I am never fucking stopping a war again because you guys would have been over there in Syria killing each other, but now you're here drugging me and my wife and like causing discord between us. So after that, I promised that I'm never stopping a war again. And so when the Russians repeatedly were like, please stop this war, do the same thing you did in Syria, which was I cut a deal before we're about to bomb Damascus, and I cut a deal. I was like, I got the Syrians to give up their chemical weapons. It was complete bullshit, but it was like it made everyone look good. We got the UN in there, and then Saudi Arabia actually pulled a false flag attack. But then one of the rebels that the Saudi Arabians were sponsoring posted on his social media, the Saudis did it. They're gonna get the Americans to invade. And I reposted it because I was like friends with the rebels. So I reposted it, and then after that, we couldn't invade anymore because it was like they literally said Saudi Arabia did it. But anyway, so the Russians were like, let's do the same thing again, guys. We could stop this war. So that's why they kept attacking the nuclear facilities in Ukraine. Like, okay, Ed, come in now. You can get the IAEA and say that this is going to be a nuclear disaster and we can stop this war. I was like, I'm not fucking helping you guys ever again because you guys have been doing nothing but stealing from me, drugging me, like trying to cause discord in my marriage, which is still going on now. So I was just like, fuck you guys, go kill each other. And so they couldn't stop. Still can't stop. It's really hard to stop a war. Once you start a war, it's easy to start a war. Very, very hard to stop one. And so same with Iran now. Iran and the US. I think that's going to become a disaster for us. Big disaster. You think it's only starting now. I went off the rails. I thought you guys were sleeping, so I'm trying to wake you up. Trying to wake you up. You guys are sleeping. You're awake now. All right, let's get back to the coffee. So this is 100% Hawaiian coffee, all grown in the U.S. This white coffee, it's it's like an energy drink, 10 times stronger than your dark roast, guaranteed. Not so now I just sell coffee. I'm not, I can kind of get back involved, but it's really not worth it. The amount of strain that it causes, it's just not worth it. I don't care how many people get killed. It's like I'm not getting involved in that shit ever again. Ever again. Don't try to bring me back into that shit. It's a waste of my time. It's like Final Destination or The Butterfly Effect. You remember that movie with Ashton Kutcher where every time he went back in time to try to save that girl, she just got worse. And that's how I feel. It's like if we had just let the Syrian war happen, none of this stuff would be happening. Because everyone would be dead by now. It's like it's a small fire and got bigger, bigger, bigger. Now it's huge. So the tea, you just take 1 tablespoon, put it into water, and it'll brew like a tea. It's actually pretty amazing. You can also grind it up with your coffee, and it'll just add chocolate. It's very easy to brew. It's not like hot chocolate where like I'm never gonna sell OG white coffee. No, that's not gonna work out. We can roast our coffee raw because our coffee is really clean, really fresh, mold free. The OG, I don't. It's the same quality as your coffee coming from other regions, and it needs to. I'm not gonna risk it. I gotta keep a certain level of risk. I mean, the OG can be really good, but then what if I get a bad batch of it and now you guys are getting the shits and it was raw coffee and now it's like, oh, I got this. Come on the shows. I got the shits from your coffee, Ed. It's not gonna be a good thing for me. So I'm just gonna keep the white coffee at a higher grade. People have told me they bought the white coffee from other countries and it just tastes like crap. So this white coffee actually tastes good. It actually tastes like a nice, smooth, very, very smooth coffee, really sweet. And 1 cup of this white coffee is equal to 10 cups of dark roast. Really sweet coffee, guaranteed to just give you the best day. But then after that, you're gonna crash, right? If you drank 12 cups of it, 1 cup, you're probably not gonna crash. But 12 cups, like Evie did, probably gonna crash. Yeah. And probably now, you're probably no matter how much white coffee you're drinking, it's not working anymore, right? So be careful. You're gonna be chasing that white coffee high. What you gotta try next is the green coffee. That's probably the only thing that'll get you going again. Um, is this the white coffee talking? Not today, right? I just wanted to wake you guys up. So I'm more in control now. I'm being more aware. I'll turn the crazy on when I think you guys are sleeping, and now we're just gonna tone it back down. I for a long time I thought Iran was working for us because every time, yeah, I actually thought they were working for us, and it kind of makes sense because during Obama they gave them I don't know how many billions of dollars, and after you give someone that much money, they're gonna be working for you. And so for a long time I thought Iran was working for us, um, because one time my wife and my kid were in New York City, and they got hit with MDMA. Like their eyes were crossed, and my wife would take pictures of my baby, and her eyes were crossed, and her eyes were never crossed. And I was like, oh shit, this is why some people have crossed eyes because you give them so many drugs. So they got hit in New York City, and then I started flipping out, and Iran bombed, sent a bunch of missiles over, and then after that, everyone's like, "Oh shit." So for a long time, I thought Iran was working for us. There were all these Iranians in at Columbia University where I went, and they were all coming to my house all the time. They're like trying to hang out with me. Really smart people. That's how I knew. They're not going to be easy to beat because they were the smartest engineers in the whole school. Like they were good at what they did, and I was like, oh, you think you could just beat these guys, but they were the best engineers in all of Columbia in engineering. You're not going to beat them. They've got some shit going on up their sleeve. And I tried to recruit one of the Kurds. I tried to make him like I tried to bring him in, and he told me because I thought Kurds are against Iranians, right? Because they get persecuted. He told me, he's like, my dad's a judge in Iran. He's like, we're not persecuted. We're part of the system. And so then when Trump was saying we're gonna get the Kurds to attack Iran, so like, no, you're not, you idiot, and then didn't. They don't listen to me because I was working with every 4 years it's a new administration. The new administration thinks the old one's a conspiracy. They think everyone doesn't know what they're doing. So now you guys are fucked again. Every 4 years, you're fucked. That's just how it goes. Around 2 years after the first 2 years, they always try to bring me back. So the first 2 years, they get to do whatever they want. They get completely fucked, and then they try to bring me back. I'm kind of feeling that right now, but it's been so many years. It's been like I've been doing this. I was doing it since 2010, and like what has it been 14 years? I'm like I don't want to do this anymore because every time I take over for 2 years, then you have a new election, the new group of retards come in and they want to fuck me. They want to fuck with me. They want to destroy my life because they don't want me to have any power. Like I'm just gonna fucking sell coffee, guys. I don't care about you guys anymore. You fucked me. I'm not gonna help you guys. Go die. Go kill each other. Have fun. I don't care. Japan. No one's gonna attack Japan. So, before this last war started, I was just talking about Paul Wolfowitz. Remember before 9/11, Paul Wolfowitz like America needs a cataclysmic event, a disaster which will catalyze us to, kick back into gear. And I was like, that's what we need again. We need another 9/11. I was like, America needs to be humiliated so that they buy my spaceships. Because right now, they think they don't need my spaceships. They think, oh, we're the best at everything. We can beat any country. Just push a button, they're done. Meanwhile, you can't even beat a third world country under sanction for 50 years. So I was like, all right, guys, you guys need to be humiliated technologically. You're gonna, and then you'll buy my spaceships. So that's where we are right now. We gotta see the limits of our technology, and then you're gonna want to buy my spaceships. It's all about money. You don't want my spaceships? That's fine. I'll just keep selling coffee. I do. They're for sale. They're for sale. I actually signed up the former head of the Air Force Research Laboratory 2 weeks ago. So he's on board, but he's so fucking expensive. He has an equity stake, but he charges me $400 an hour. So to even have an email with him, it's $200. So I'm like, all right, guys, we're just gonna take this real slow because I need to sell enough coffee to pay for your asses. You guys are too expensive. But at least they're signed up, so they're invested. They're like, we'll help you get these contracts, but you got to pay us $400 an hour. I'm like, okay, that's pretty normal for a consultant on that level, but I'm gonna have to take it one step at a time. But at least they're signed up. So the war worked, guys. The war worked. They said we need your spaceships because the rockets are not good enough. We get it. All right, guys. So white coffee, good stuff. Gets you flying, makes you crazy, makes you think weird things. Maybe might make you into a megalomaniac like me. Makes you think that you can stop wars. That's how good this white coffee is. You can nothing can stop you on this white coffee. Nothing. 12-ounce bag here. You want to try the sample first. Emails are not free. Emails are not free. They charged me 200 bucks. I was like, dude, I'm drinking. So that's what I'm drinking today. That's right. So this white coffee, you're unstoppable. You think you're you think you're a megalomaniac when you drink this coffee. Makes you crazy. And that's because coffee has this compound in it called trigonylene. And when you roast trigonylene to 250 degrees, it becomes something called methylamine, which is the meth part of methamphetamine might. In rat studies, it's shown to support the joints, support the muscles. In fact, it prevents muscle wasting. I think it's called sarcopenia or sarc. I don't know what it's called, but it prevents muscle wasting. It improves your grip strength because actually increases your NAD levels in your muscles. It feeds your mitochondria. I do need to get above 20 bucks for these, so I'll run one more of these. If we don't get it above 20, then that's it. No white coffee for you. I'll have to stick to selling the spaceships. But we did, we did sign up the former head of the Air Force Research Laboratory. So he's like my advisor now. He's a cool guy. I like him a lot. He reminds me of this one guy, Joe Zachria. The Zacrias were I have these weird friends. Reminds me of this one guy, Joe Zachria, I went to high school with. His grandfather, no, his uncle was the former director of the CIA. What was his name? Uh, Helm Richard Helmsley was his grandfather, and he was a prince. His family was the Zakaria family, which was the royal family of Afghanistan. He went to my high school. Kind of funny. Thanks for getting that for 20. I'll run another one, guys. Get this to 20. I really need to get 20 bucks for this. Otherwise, I'm just spinning my wheels. I can't pay for these consultants. I'm not rich. And if you guys want spaceships, we got to pay for these consultants because they're the only way I can get the government to actually listen to me. I mean, they're listening now, but they're not sure what to think. It's all about the feeling. But yeah, that guy reminds me of Joe Zachria. I met him first. I'm like, oh, you remind me of Joe Zachria. I love you. You're awesome. Joe Zachria was the funniest guy I ever knew. He was awesome. So I miss him. So anytime I meet someone who reminds me of Joe Zachria, I'm like, oh, I gotta work with that guy. And so the former head of the Air Force Research Laboratory reminds me of Joe Zachria. So I was like, I don't care. I don't trust anyone in the government, but you remind me of Joe Zachria. I need to work with you. So that's the story of Joe Zachria. But that's the problem with being a deep cover operative. No one knows that you're a deep cover operative. So no one believes you, not even the people in the government. And then you have to show them stuff. You have to show them that you can predict what's going to happen next in the war. And then after enough times of that, they either run away because they don't want anything to do with you, or in this one case, they signed up with you. But it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It ruins your life. Don't ever try to do anything like that unless you're ready to commit suicide. I always tell people, hey, if you're thinking about committing suicide, go sign up with these guys instead. It's way more fun, but it's the same thing as committing suicide. Maybe a little worse because you're still alive. You guys want the white coffee, guys? It really gets to your head. Makes you crazy. Makes you believe crazy things. Just temporarily, just for maybe 4 or 5 hours, you'll kind of like being high. It's actually kind of fun. And it gives you a nice body high too. Gives you this really strong buzz. Your body starts to tingle. You feel like you could do anything. Clean your house, stream. Nothing can stop you. That's the white coffee. It's like drinking 10 cups of coffee. And it tastes great too. It tastes like a sweet corn tea. Nice and smooth, sweet. It's not like other coffees that are bitter and sour. This is actually a very sweet, nice tasting coffee. And this is the Hawaiian grade of it. It It's also really good for your health. It's not like an energy drink which makes your teeth fall out and organs fail. It's actually good for your organs, great for your joints, great for your muscles, improves your digestion. It's just, it's like eating vegetables. Hey, that worked. It worked, guys. You guys are woke. You guys are up. See, it worked. Sometimes just got to say a little crazy stuff. It worked. All right. It worked. Yeah, I learned about the spaceships from reading the Egyptian Book of the Dead. They actually have detailed instructions on how to make the spaceships. And one day I decided, I've been studying magic my whole life. I've been learning Latin and Greek and trying to, because Newton, I want to be like Isaac Newton. He spent 99% of his time, it's not working, studying the Bible and studying ancient languages. He was trying to learn about the apocalypse. And so I was like, well, the one thing Newton didn't do was he didn't learn to read hieroglyphics. And it turns out hieroglyphics is actually English, which is kind of weird. And so anyway, this one of my woofers told me that when I asked her to index all of the hieroglyphic symbols, she started reading it and she was like, "This is English." I was like, "No, it's not. You're fucking crazy." But like I said, anytime you think someone's crazy, it's probably because they're smarter than you. So I was like, wait, let me just go with that. Where anytime I think someone's crazy, it's actually they're smarter than me. So I looked into it and it really was English. And so then I read it. I read the whole thing. It had detailed instructions about how to make the spaceships, and then I made one, and it actually works. And I spent the last 6 years trying to get the Air Force to buy it. And to their credit, they actually introduced me to all the people I needed to talk to. But they all, they're all really excited about it. But then when it comes time to ask their theorists, will it work or not? They're all like, this is impossible. You have to fart to move in space. This is impossible. This goes against all our physics. And so no one can ever buy it. But we're getting closer and closer. So I made the spaceship bigger. It's not a spaceship, it's an engine. And it's bigger and bigger. It's like, I've made one this big and it's undeniable that it works. And so now they're trying to figure out what to do about it. But in the meantime, I just got to sell the coffee because while they were doing that, they were drugging me, trying to see if I was crazy. They tried to give me psychiatrists saying, every schizophrenic has spaceships, Ed. You need to take some antipsychotics. And I was just like, you guys are, you guys, I'm just gonna focus on selling coffee because I'm not like a normal schizophrenic where I get obsessed with trying to get you to believe me. I'm just trying to make some money, guys. I need to feed my daughter. So so that's the reason. So actually about a year ago, they were trying to get me to take investors and like I'm like I don't want investors because last time I took investors, they forged my signatures and all this stuff. That's another story. So I was like, you know what? How about, I'm watching all these strippers on TikTok telling me how much money they're making on TikTok. Why don't I do that too? I could be a stripper. So then I went on TikTok and then I started selling my coffee and one thing led to another. Now I'm here selling coffee and so I don't even care about spaceships anymore because I'm just busy twerking it on TikTok and selling it to you guys, just selling coffee every day. You don't have to dance. I mean, figurative dancing, but that was inspirational. They inspired me to try to be more than a government contractor. I know. Sometimes you just got to go on TikTok and twerk it, and then you're gonna have to quit your job. There's nothing shameful about doing that if uh, if you can pay the bills with it. So that's why I'm here today. Then I was on TikTok and whatnot, saw me on TikTok and they're like, "Oh, you do really well on whatnot." So I came on whatnot, and then I've been doing the whatnot, and then TikTok was like, "Hey, can you come back to TikTok?" Follower. So white coffee is coffee that's roasted so light that it's still raw. This is the white coffee, and when you roast coffee this light, it retains all of the active compounds. All of the bioactive components don't get roasted away. All those, they are very different. MF Duck, you're on there too. It does make you fart like beans. Yep. Coffee has fiber in it. It actually promotes the same gut bacteria as beans. And so when you drink a lot of this coffee, I don't know if you notice, Evie, that you're gonna start craving eating beans. Like all I want to do is eat beans. And it's actually a good thing. And actually good for your health, improves your appetite for healthy substances. But the main thing is this is like a you notice you want to eat beans. Yeah, I've been eating just all I am eating is beans, like bean salad, bean soup, chili. All I want to do is eat beans. It's weird. I never ate beans. All I want to do is eat beans. So it actually helps improve maybe twice as much caffeine, but it's got this other compound in called trigonylene, and that's what's giving you the body high and the head rush and all that stuff. So twice as much caffeine. The caffeine, as you roast coffee darker, roasts away. It becomes caramelized into flavor. Whereas this white coffee, everything, it's almost raw. It's before first crack. So coffee actually pops twice like popcorn. And as you roast it darker, the when it hits a certain temperature, everything. No, I mean like garbanzo beans. I don't eat the beans, no. But some people, what they're telling me is they'll grind this into a powder. They'll take 5 or 10 of these, grind it into a powder, and then they'll eat the powder, and then they get all of the positive benefits, but they don't have to use, they can keep drinking their dark coffee. They just add the powder into their dark coffee, and then they get that energy rush from it. So it does give you a lot of energy. It makes you feel unstoppable, and it lasts for like a good 4 hours. You don't want to drink way too much. Like 1 cup is probably more than enough. Yeah, try that, and it'll give you all of the nice buzz of it without having to, because the white coffee doesn't brew as well. White coffee you have isn't as water soluble when you brew it. So that's our white coffee, and right now we have in the Hawaiian. I usually have an extra fancy grade. That's just the bean size and the bean density, but for the white coffee, the Hawaiian coffee is pretty much good enough. Like you can't really taste the flavor difference. You might be able to drink more of the extra fancy white just because it's a nicer bean. It's really healthy. Yeah. It makes you feel healthy. It makes you want to eat more healthy foods. You can tell when you drink this you do feel healthier. As long as you do it in moderation. If you're drinking too much of it, it'll definitely, you build a tolerance to it. You definitely feel like you need it. Brew it like regular coffee. I suggest you brew it in a way where you can steep it for longer, so like a French press. But it'll work fine with as regular coffee. It just won't you won't get as thick of a brew. So I do try to grind it a little bit finer. And French press is really good way to do it. Cold brew, very good. It doesn't taste like coffee. It tastes like a one of those toasted teas. Like the Japanese have the toasted rice tea that you can buy in the store, but it's sweeter. It tastes and has a little bit of nuttiness, like a peanut flavor to it, almost like a Reese's Pieces, but it's nutty, brown sugar, caramel, very, very sweet. Almost for me, it almost smells like Kellogg's cornflakes coming out of that. Coming out of that. Coming out of the roaster. So here I'll do it for 23. That's the best I can do. So if you want a 12-ounce bag trial, run some samples too. If you want to try the samples, 2-ounce samples, I have them. All our roasts will not give you any acid reflux or indigestion, and that's because of how we pick the coffee. We pick the coffee overripe. We wait for the coffee to be deep red, purple, or brown. So we're letting it ripen on the tree for 4 to 6 weeks longer than coffee from anywhere else in the world. And that ripeness is like letting a banana turn brown or an apple turn brown. It's like letting a strawberry become maroon. And when you let a fruit ripen for that long, you got to remember coffee is a fruit that grows on trees. Angeles, you're keeping me on point. Thank you. The coffee never sprayed with any chemical pesticides. We're only using naturally occurring soil funguses and soil bacterias. Ginger, dark blue princess. I had a big problem with ginger. Everything for a while, everything upset my stomach. Everything gave me canker sores. The only thing I could eat was oatmeal flour. I lost like 30 pounds. It was really bad. And then I discovered ginger, just like raw ginger. Take smush up the juice, put it into your tea, or buy juice ginger, and like that fixed everything. I just drink a cup of ginger every morning, and like I can almost eat anything I want again. It brought me back to life. I don't know if it'll work for you, but it worked for me. It was the only thing that worked. I tried yogurt, probiotics, enzymes. All right, so that's something for me. I eat a lot of ginger. I'll maybe eat half a pound of ginger a day, and so it's a little bit extreme. Ooh, never put my yogurt away. I never put my yogurt away, guys. Put my yogurt away. Oh yeah, I'll eat like this much ginger every day. It's a lot of ginger. All right, see, once I start being crazy, it's hard to put the crazy back into the box. That's the problem with being crazy. It's hard to put the crazy back into the box. So once I go crazy, the show is over. Now I'm just rambling. All right, let's just run each of my items again and see if, and then I think I'm gonna wrap it up. But thank you guys for joining us. So this is our medium pea berry. The pea berry coffee is the highest grade of our coffee. It only happens at the tips of the trees. It's the smoothest coffee, and it takes 100 pounds. We have to filter through 100 pounds of coffee to make 1 pound of pea berry. This is what it looks like. So it even looks different than our other coffees. I'm gonna put up a 2-ounce sample. This is exactly what you're bidding on here. This is the medium pea berry. Oh, item doesn't exist. Okay. This is the medium pea berry here, and this is going to be the smoothest coffee that we have. It's almost buttery. It tastes like um, it's what's it called? It has a honey finish to it. It's fruity, and it's got like a raisin. It'll leave your mouth tasting like raisins, but it also have this nice honey sweet finish to it. So all of our coffee is extremely sweet. None of our coffee will give you any acid reflux or indigestion. I can guarantee that. If it does, I'll give you 100% of your money back. This is the highest grade of the coffee that we have. So it's just gonna be MF Duck. All right, I'll stay back for a while. I got nothing to do today. It's gonna be just more complex in its flavor compared to the Hawaiian, but all of our coffees are gonna taste very similar. It's just a matter of smoothness and richness. Let me just see what my wife said here. What did she say? What did my wife say? Okay, good. Nothing bad. All right. All right. Let's run another one of these. What's all is in the honey? What do you mean why not? I'm sorry, there was a typo there. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. There is a honey flavor to this. It literally tastes like honey. It's kind of interesting because of how dense it is. That center of the bean stays unroasted. And and that lack of roasting keeps the center raw. So the pea berry will give you more of a buzz for the same roast. It's it's the most complex in its flavor. So the Hawaiian coffee tends to be a little bit sweeter even, but the pea berry is more complex. It combines some of the light where you get the nuttiness and but it has the medium fruitiness, but it's also bold like the dark because it just roasts with a wider range of roast levels. And so it is worth trying. These are 2-ounce bags. Normally the pea berry goes for on our site, we do 90 bucks a pound because there's usually a waiting list for it. I've been able to get it pretty consistently lately, but we don't always have it. The honey, And this does actually taste like honey at the end. Our other coffees don't taste like honey; it tastes like brown sugar, whereas this has that almost tastes exactly like bees honey. It's hard to explain, but it does have this nice honey flavor to it. And that's not in anything else. The honey, this is the honey. The flowers in this honey are ohia, which is a local indigenous tree. It's a eucalyptus flowers are in here. I've been farming coffee for since 2014. So what is it, 2026 now? 12 years. Lohi boy, are you local? You look like you might be Hawaiian. I think lohi is a Hawaiian word, right? Yeah. What does lohi mean? Does it mean to listen, right? I studied Hawaiian for a while. You know, any language. Oh no, I've screwed it down. I screwed it up. I'm sorry. Any language that where the number four is is a sin, a pun with death, comes from Egypt. So in Hawaiian, number four is eha, right? And that also means to be gravely wounded. So Hawaiian is also an Egyptian language. In Japanese, the number four means death. In Chinese, the number four means death. In English, if you switch the L's and the R's, four is foul or fall. Four. Actually, that also means death. Ah, okay. Kind of interesting. All right, last medium pea berry here. In Dutch, virus, I think is four, and then virus. So a lot of us are actually Egyptian, and we don't know it. The Hawaiian word for sun is la, which you switch the L's and R's, it's just ra. Little known facts. All right, that is our medium pea berry. Just gonna remove that from my show. We got some dark samplers here. 2-ounce Hawaiian darks. These are sample size. I'll do these at 15-second sun and dance. 2 ounces will make you 4 8-ounce cups of coffee. How'd you like that coffee? Which part of Hawaii are you from, Lohi? This is going to be make you 4 8-ounce cups of coffee. And this will make you roughly 1 pot of coffee. This is a dark Hawaiian that you guys are bidding on. The dark roast smells like a fresh chocolate. Wow. Jesus freaking Christ. And this Hawaiian was roasted on Saturday. So this is our Friday, I'm sorry. Freshest coffee, extremely sweet, no bitterness, no sourness, guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux or indigestion because of how we pick the coffee. We pick the coffee overripe. We wait for the coffee to become soft and ready to fall off the trees. And so the coffee is like deep red, purple, or brown before we pick it, just like letting an apple turn brown or a banana turn brown. When you wait that long for the coffee to ripen, the enzymes in the fruit convert all the bitterness into aroma, all the sourness into more sugar. So it just has way more sugar than coffee from anywhere else in the world. I do suggest you start with the dark coffee because even our dark coffee is relatively lighter. Like our dark coffee doesn't have the oil on it. Big Island's a good place to grow up. I think, everyone's really nice here. There's a lot of you read about tension between different groups of people here, but really it's nothing. Like everyone's so calm, so chill, and it's not like anything in a big city. So it's actually a really good place to raise kids. Hawaiians are super nice. So this is the color of the dark is kind of a dark chocolate. Tastes like a toasted caramel dark chocolate. Absolutely no bitterness, no sourness. It's once you drink this coffee, you're not going to go back to other coffees. It's just extremely sweet. It literally no bitterness. The bitterness in coffee comes from coffee that started out sour. If you pick a coffee sour, what happens is when you roast it dark, the acidity becomes bitterness. That's why so many people think, oh, dark coffee is going to be bitter. But actually, if you don't start out sour, it doesn't end up bitter. So this coffee tastes like a sweet toasted pastry. It smells like a pastry coming out of that It smells like one of those chocolate croissants with the chocolate in the middle and the baked dough on the outside. So sweet. It's loaded with natural sugars. You don't have to add any cream or sugar to it. And the best part is you could drink this and it's not going to give you acid reflux. And I can guarantee that, I'll give you 100% of your money back. If you try it for the first time and you find for any reason, you don't have to even mail it back to me. I've sampled this coffee to thousands of people in person, and that's why I'm kind of confident about talking about it. Because what they tell me is they'll drink the coffee like, oh, this is really good coffee. They go for a walk on the farm, 10 minutes past, they come back like, my stomach doesn't hurt at all. Normally, I drink coffee, my stomach hurts. So from when you plant it, and this is a coffee seed here. So these are coffees with the shell on it. This is a coffee seed. When you plant this seed, it'll take 3 years to get to a point where it fruits, and then after that, it'll stay. The coffee will continue to produce for hundreds of years. So we have some of the original Kona coffee trees from the 1800s still producing. We do prune the tree back to the stump every 3 years, and then you get another harvest. So what you guys are used to seeing is this. All right, this is the green bean here. And as long as you keep the coffee in the shell, it stays mold free. And that's actually why another reason why our coffee is so much sweeter and fresher. We don't shell the coffee until right before we roast it within a month. Whereas most of the world's coffee is shelled like after it gets on the boat. It's sitting on the boat for months. It has to be shelled before it gets on the boat. And once it's shelled, like any nut, it starts going rancid. Let's try doing a bag of this Hawaiian dark 12-ounce bag here. So if you guys want a larger bag, I'll give you guys a chance to bid on it for $1. Hopefully we get 20 bucks for it. If it doesn't go above 20, I'm gonna have to that'll be my last one. But this coffee is sweeter, and because of how we pick it, we don't spray with any chemical pesticides. It's gonna be mold free. The beans were roasted on Friday, whereas most of the coffee you guys are buying in the store was roasted like 6 months to 18 months ago. And that's why a lot of times you drink coffee, your mouth tastes rancid, tastes like poop, or it tastes like something grew in it. Um, but our coffee is so fresh, it doesn't have a chance to do that. And you're also, it just smells like chocolate. It's an extremely sweet coffee. All right, that's my only bag there. Usually I have some medium and light Hawaiians, but today I don't. I only have the dark roast. So if you bookmark my next shows, I will have more variety at the end of the week. We have some naturals, we have some different grades of coffee. Today I mainly only have the pea berry. Let's do one bag of the dark pea berry here. This is an 8-ounce bag of the dark pea berry. And again, the pea berry is I go a little bit too fast here. Let me just pin it first. The pea berry is the highest grade of our coffee. This is a medium pea berry here. So you can see the shape of the beans are different. And so this makes a great gift. Like I sometimes do red, white, and blue, but not right now. So we do have Hawaiian chocolate here and there. That's a good question, Lily boy. So from flowering to fruit, it's 9 months, 9 to 10 months. Yeah, so it roughly flowers from January to May, and then we're picking from roughly September to January. And the way we pick it is unique in Hawaii. We pick basically for every 1 month. We go out and when we see the first fruit turn brown, and we can keep track of all our fruits because we are very small 6-acre farms, family farms. In fact, I think 1% of our gross output goes to the landowner. So we don't even own this land. The land is leased from Kamehameha Schools. You probably know Kamehameha Schools, Loey Boy. Um, they own the best farmland in Hawaii. So most of the coffee is grown on leaseholds. They're like long-term leases. And so we pay 1% of our gross output to Kamehameha Schools, and they use it to fund boarding schools and really nice private schools for Native Hawaiians. So you have to have, I think, at least 1/8 or 1/16 Hawaiian heritage to attend one of these schools. Although recently, some of the newcomers to Hawaii want them to let regular non-Hawaiians into the schools. They're like suing them. They're saying it's racist. I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm not getting involved in any politics ever. I never get involved in politics. I kind of agree with you, Loey boy. You guys should be able to get some special treatment on your own stuff. But those are really nice schools, so I can see why people want to go to them. They're really nice schools. They're all expense paid schools. People go to those schools. Yeah. So the last queen of Hawaii, or the one princess, Princess Bernice Pauahi Bishop, who actually married a New York man. That's why her last name was Bishop. When America took over, she put all her land into a trust to protect it from the IRS. Didn't have IRS back then, but put into a trust. And then the last queen and all the other royal families put all their land into this trust. So they still own 10% of Hawaii's land. And in that charter, it said the land has to be used for agriculture or for the benefit of the Hawaiian people. So that's why Hawaii isn't developed like the Caribbean. It's not developed into all these resorts. Big Island, in particular, it's still all farmland because of that, because they own the leaseholds. So that's why Hawaii stays very, very, the land stays good and all that stuff. It's because the Kamehameha schools in the charter is not allowed to build the land into resorts and things like that. So all the beaches are still clean, local beaches and things like that. All right. So Kona Peaberry here, the dark peaberry. Again, this is the rarest of all our coffees. If you go to the store to buy it, if they even have it, most stores don't have it. But one of the local retailers, they have it for 56 bucks for 7 ounces. If you go online, you'll see it anywhere from like 80 to $150 a pound. And it is a lot smoother. This is the smoothest coffee. It takes 100 pounds of our coffee to produce 1 pound of peaberry. It's twice as dense as the Kona bean, so it roasts differently. This is an 8 ounce bag here. For us, this retails for $45. I kind of agree with that. So I'm not one of those people trying to, because I'm an immigrant. For 1 pound, that makes sense. Yep. And that's probably for the estate coffee. It's probably not for the pea berry. So the pea berry is just the best coffee that we have. It takes 100 pounds of our pea berry to produce 1 pound of Kona coffee. And so it is the most delectable kind of beans that we have. I'll run one more of these, but 24 is a little bit low. I know 24 bucks for coffee, like that's crazy for a half a pound, but it's actually really cheap. And I'll run one more of these and then we'll move on to the next item. And this is our Kona Peaberry 100% Kona coffee, dark roast, tastes like a toasted caramel dark chocolate, smoother than our Kona regular Hawaiian coffee because the beans are twice as dense. And so you're going to get some nuttiness that you don't get in the Hawaiian dark. And 22. All right. That's it, guys. That's our dark peaberry there. I also have a dark estate Kona. Estate is it combines the top 3 grades. Also a dark roast here. It combines the top 4 grades of coffee. Prime, number 1, fancy, extra fancy. It's the first coffee grade that we can call Kona coffee. Right? So the beans are cleaner. The Hawaiian coffee will have some defects in them, whereas the Kona coffee doesn't have any defects. And you're probably wondering, well, what's a defect? So defects can be very small imperfections in the beans. It can be because the beans are too small. Like, drop the bean. So the Hawaiian coffee will have beans like this, where it has a little chip at the tip of it. Whereas the Kona coffee, the beans are all perfect. So when you go to roast a perfect bean, it just comes out better. It comes out more buttery. Oh, Aaron, you got a great deal on that. I think that's the only one I can run there. So this Estate Kona would be, what you'd be paying 81 bucks a pound in California for. But we're getting it. You guys are getting this direct from the farm. There is, you want to do some honey? Sure, Aaron. And someone asked about the honey, right? Who I think it was Wine. I don't know if you're still here. Sorry, I missed your question. The honey is sweet, very, very sweet. Tastes like it's coming from some local flowers. Ohia is one of the local flowers, indigenous tree. That tree can grow on fresh volcanic soil, which is kind of crazy. You'll see it growing out of the cracks of the volcano. If you go up to the volcano, you'll see little trees growing, and those are ohia trees. So they're like the primary, first ecological, what is it, primary ecology or whatever it's called. They're the first growers. And so they produce, so this honey comes from that. We have eucalyptus here, Christmas berry, which is related to peppers. And this is a full 32-ounce jar. So this is 3.5 pounds of honey, or 3 pounds. I think the jar weighs half a pound. So it's 3 pounds of honey, 32 ounces of honey. So for any honey from anywhere, it's actually a great deal for honey. And this is Hawaiian honey. Everything in Hawaii costs more, but we're able to do this for 25. It's just a simple mason jar here. Very, very sweet. There's no mustiness in it. It touch of tanginess like honey has, but barely any. So a lot of times I eat honey and kind of burns my mouth. This doesn't do that. It's just a very sweet honey. The honey here is pure. It's produced from, um, we don't have any pollution in the soil. We do have mountain apples, and they only have those in tropical Asian countries. So it's kind of interesting to have mountain apples here. This is coming only from the Big Island, so it's coming from all over the island, and it is a very, very nice, very, very sweet honey. I don't know if you guys got the honey I already sent you, but apparently they're shipping okay. So this is. I've been drinking this honey straight just for lunch. I'll just eat honey. So I'll have another gulp of honey here. This is I buy this from one of our farms down the road, and she tells me she puts honey boxes all over the farm and she collects them. Linda O'Connell with the L. L's and R's. I think a lot of people maybe throughout the ages have flipped the L's and R's. It's not just Asians. All right, I think that's all of them. These I gotta get them delivered. So I'll have more of these. Maybe I don't know how much we have of these, but I'll have more. I should have more of them. Yeah, if you already had flat rate shipping, it's a good item. And if you guys like the sweet teas, I've been giving away some of these turmeric flower teas. This is a unique item that we have. It's made from the turmeric flower, also highly anti-inflammatory, good for joint support, inflammation, and this will give you 2 stalks. Roughly brews about half a gallon to a gallon of tea. It's really sweet, almost like a honeysuckle. So if you guys like tea, you take one of these stalks. This is the stalk here. Put it in I do it in a quart of water and boil it for 5 minutes, and then you'll get this light yellow, just a very sweet with a light turmeric flavor to it. I think you already got some Morpheus, right? And it does give you a nice anti-inflammatory. You do feel, at least I do, I feel calm and sort of uninflamed afterwards. So it's a nice tea to drink before you go to sleep. A very, very sweet tea. Some people also cook with it. MF Duck. I can't make that promise. Stuff. It's very hard for me to be able to keep track. If you want, I'll print it out. I'll print it out right now. I got my computer in front of you. How many of those you want in your box? I can give you like 4 of them, I guess. I'd rather you just bid on it if you can, because it really gets confusing. But the yellow turmeric, you get 2 big ones, or you get 4 little ones, or you get 3, 1 big one, 2 little ones. I just dehydrated these, and is it growing, Morpheus? Turmeric does really well, and if and some people, I've actually seeded multiple farms with our turmeric in South Carolina, Georgia, Texas, and it grows really well down there. People as far north as Maine have grown the turmeric, and they sell it to their local health food shop at the end of the year. So it's kind of like a really If you guys are home gardeners or have a little greenhouse, it's a nice little hobby that you can do, and a lot of natural food stores will buy the turmeric from you. It does look like ginger. Yep, it's a cousin of ginger, so they're related. The turmeric tea is you take one of these, one stalk, put it in about a quart of water. If it's a bigger one, you could put in 2 quarts to your taste. Boil it for 5 minutes, and then it'll give you this nice, really sweet tea that tastes light, has a light taste of turmeric to it, and then it tastes like a honeysuckle, just like sugar. There's a lot of sweetness in this. These are so sweet that when they're fresh, if you leave it out, just ants just come and just devour them. The ants love these. It's so sweet. Give it a try. Yeah, give it a try. That's our turmeric flower tea there. We have the white coffee. We got some Macnuts too. So these are my non-coffee products here. The macadamia nuts are actually the easiest to digest of all the nuts. They have, I believe it's 20 times less, 20 times less oxalates than all like almonds. So you can eat these if you have kidney stones. Basically, these apparently are the only nuts you can eat if you have kidney stones because they have zero. Boil for 5 minutes, Manza. If these are the only nuts you can eat if you have kidney stones. They are also loaded with omega 3s, which are the fish oils. So they're actually very heart healthy. They're loaded with omega 3s. They also have this other compound, omega 7s, which make your skin better. It's like really good for your skin. You grind it with your nibs. That could be tasty. The nibs will add a nice chocolate flavor to it. You guys want a sample of the white coffee? This is a 12 ounce bag of the white coffee here. The white coffee was the one. When I drink the white coffee, I definitely start talking about aliens. So there is some of that methylamine in there that kind of makes you go off the deep end a little bit, but it's only for a little bit. So, that's weird. I don't know why that is, Aaron. Never seen that happen before. The white coffee tastes like a toasted corn, like a sweet corn. To me, it tastes like cornflakes. Here's a $2, $1 start on it. Here's a sample of it. And the white coffee is roasted so light that it's still raw. It's actually really good for your skin, blocks UV rays, blocks melanin production. So it's apparently better for your skin than kojic acid. But the real thing is it's it's like drinking 10 cups of dark roast. It's so strong, twice the caffeine, 10 times the trigonylene. You kind of feel this body high when you drink it. So it's a really unique product there. All right. Did that. Did the dark pea berry. Got some fresh turmeric roots here. A little bit late in the season to grow them, but if you like turmeric, a lot of people will take the fresh root, you peel it, and you make sure you peel it because it's still a raw product. And then they throw it into their, fruit shakes in the mornings. Throw it in your fruit shakes. It'll be anti-inflammatory. Anti-inflammatory. And you can dehydrate them and make them into the Indian spice. All right, I think I'm starting to run out of steam here. Cacao tea. I just made some cacao tea. Just adds a chocolate flavor to anything that you're brewing. Unlike most chocolates, it's water soluble. I feel like it calmed me down. It's almost like an antidote to caffeine. So if you drink too much coffee, a lot of times the second the cacao tea hits my lips, I calm down. You kind of saw that maybe. But the cacao tea has a compound in it that's the mirror image of caffeine. So it's the isomer of caffeine. It's called theobromine, but it affects us completely differently than caffeine. It's like prevents you from coughing. So if you have a cold and you don't want to take like codeine, this is actually an alternative to codeine. I shouldn't have said that. It's not going to help with coughing. It's not going to do that. Doesn't help. Doesn't help with anything. Just yummy, tasty chocolate. Yeah, gotta stay on top of my stuff here. I don't really know what I'm doing anymore. I'm getting tired. Been online for too long. All right, we got a pea berry, a medium pea berry here. This is the 8-ounce bag. This is the highest grade of coffee that we have. It's the rarest. It takes 100 pounds to make 1 pound of pea berry. This is it here. It's the densest bean, so it's twice as dense. It's got a buttery flavor. It's got a richness that our other coffees don't have. It's just this very, very smooth and fruity coffee, and a little bit stronger for the equivalent roast. And that's because the center stays raw when you go to roast it. So the pea berry is just the cream of the crop, and you can kind of leave this in a jar on the top of your fridge and show it off. A little bit like caviar, yep. And that's our pea berry. I think we're done. I think we're done for the day. So I'm gonna send you guys off on a raid. Unless you guys got any last requests. If you guys don't have any last requests, I will. Can you ship my 2 pounds of medium Kona steak? Let me see. Estate. I hope it already shipped, Crocodile, or it's probably packed up over the weekend. If you ordered up to everything up to July 18th is about to go out today. So I believe you will, we're a little bit behind, but everything over the weekend, we packed it all up. So hopefully it'll get scanned by today. Any other last requests? Yeah, it should go out. I think everything's going out. Yeah. I see we have some stuff even as far back as the 13th that didn't ship. A few individuals. So sorry about that. We're getting that out ASAP. All right, guys, who do we raid? Who shall we raid? Let me see. I'm gonna send you guys to just someone that has a lot of viewers right now. Let's see. One's really on right now. Backyard breaks. Here we go. Cheaper than retail. All right, guys. Thank you, guys. I'll be back another day.